I have like PTSD from just all my audio issues. Every time there's like the slightest imperfection, I'm like, oh no, it's back.
Good.
Okay. So, inspiration point to whoever wants to review of last session. Recall, especially for Jeff who was not here with us.
Okay. During last session,
you go, boy.
we went to meet the leaders of the city to ask around what was going on, and I think their names were Digger, Matok, Turbo, and Seni. We learned that the city is not being siege, but is having troubles with oozes that are getting through like the collapsed tunnels, and something on the other side is like commanding them something. We talked with the druids of the city, and they asked us to investigate. We talked with the druids of the city. They say that they asked us to hollow an area that the elementals are going berserk there, and we will. It will take a while, and during that time, we will be attacked.
Questions so far, Jeff?
No, I read your review, your summary, and I watched the playback, so I think I'm caught up.
Oh, you watched it.
Kudos. Let's see if there's anything else you want to mention, Ivan. Then, once you're done, we can pick up from where we last left off.
Yeah, I think the other thing is Operation Exterminate. Are we killing the Lycans or making the new friends of Buzz? And that's it.
Oh, we still have a Medusa in here.
Right.
If we wish to go take care of that now.
If we go for the Medusa, we're gonna be double backing then to go to the top. Or we can go Medusa. I don't remember what else was in the bottom, and then we can go north.
There was the Medusa, and then there was the Elementals, and then the were rats were up top.
Okay, we can do Medusa, Elementals, and then were rats. Sounds good.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
Okay, that's the order, guys.
Is the rest of the party in compliance with that then? I haven't heard anything from Bolik yet.
Oh yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay. Tracking your way back to where you heard rumors of the Medusa will be going southward. Go ahead and choose a path and walk the rain. I will be ruling for random encounters as you guys enter new areas.
Yes, I do have a mirrored shield. Does anyone want it? Or think that it would be better on them than me?
No. All yours,
Okay.
man.
Maybe Eric? Do you want it? Sword and
I'm good
shield,
without it.
since you might be up close.
I believe I'll be fine.
My rule's public.
Then I'm just
Whenever I roll in
It was public.
It was public? I'll fix that. But
Yes, it was.
the Blingdenstone was a while back. Is there anything else now?
okay, I'll figure it out.
All right.
Just another thing that this
Which
module
way,
feels a little
group?
We mentioned
Mhm.
we talked before about blinding the Medusa with darkness. Is that something we're still looking to do?
Never faced one. Don't know what to expect.
I suppose we
maybe-
could try, and if it doesn't work, there's no reason we can't just drop the spell.
Sure. Take the risk. I'm hoping maybe enveloping her in a shroud of darkness. Maybe she can't see us. I don't know how it works, mate. But if anything, I want to do it quick.
I
you
think
got?
Clank might be able to help us on this too, because I don't think he can be turned to stone the same way as we can. Sorry, I dragged him out there and he's huge.
Oh shit, my mic is dying. Hold on one second. Okay, gonna put my cable in. Maybe give him the shield. If he can't turn to stone, put it right up in her face.
Well, I think that we should give him a sheet. We throw it over the Medusa and then just beat the shit out of her. I don't understand why this is so difficult.
You're gonna be the one to toss the bag over.
Okay.
Pile, go for it.
I mean, it's a simple idea, but it's a really good one. Nice.
I mean, how are you gonna secure it? She might just rip it off.
That is what I was thinking we could use this bag with the cinch tie for. Perhaps we could put it over her head.
But what if she uncinches it? Or just rips it off? Maybe she's got big muscles.
Well, I'm gonna say there's a few options here. You have the ability to move from a shadows to shadows, yes?
There's some capacity, yeah.
Perhaps you could have the bag and move to the shadow right behind her, jump up and put the bag over her head and hold it tight. Or we could send Clank in on a dash action to do the same thing. Or perhaps myself using a Misty Step. If we could get a bag over her head, then we get to position the mirror in front of her and then pull the bag off. Poof, she turned to stone by herself.
I might feel a little bit better if Clank takes the role on that one. I want to try to get... you
That
try to
could
bring
be
it down as
fine.
fast as possible. But if I gotta pick up some slack, hey, that's fine.
We just have to be cautious that we don't give ourselves away too much. I believe she does need to be able to see herself clearly. That's why a big surface would be better than a small mirror.
Well, if we're
These are
speaking
just the things.
tactics...
These are
If we're
just the things
speaking...
I've read
Go
in
ahead.
books. I've never encountered one in person.
I haven't either. Anything's up for game now. But if we're
It
able
is.
to, I'd like to get the jump on her. Try going sneaky if we can. This crown I
It
got...
is also.
What, you got something to
It
say?
is a. Yes, it is also possible that her petrifying gaze is a conscious ability and not one that just automatically turns everything she looks at into stone. So the mirror may not even work.
I'm sure she can handle herself in some capacity.
There's only one
But...
way to know for sure.
well, with this crown I have, I could try turning her into stone. The irony in that. Well, maybe I should say the stonery in that. Fuck me. We're in over our heads here.
Azrak loses
But...
inspiration.
okay. Bye.
What about that dark mantle thing that you wear?
What
Eric
about it?
has that.
What about it?
We could throw that over her face. No, I mean, if we can't see her,
Well, I have a feeling we're going to find out real quick what she's capable of. But if I could turn her to stone faster than she can turn us, well, might work. I just need a minute. That's all.
Takes a minute to cast.
takes a minute for it to take effect. It's not just instant. It's like how Isabel, she was getting those little stone flakes and everything. It takes time to work up to the body and everything. I don't understand it very well. I just got it from that giant. But like meta reasons, the stone takes a minute to take effect. X amount of success and saves depend on it.
Mm.
So are we going down here? Or maybe we can discuss this along the way.
I think we're walking and talking, right?
Yeah. Okay. We go down here. Ooh, spitters. Maybe we take the long way around. With all these oozes, spiders. Maybe we just try to make a direct path. Or, not a direct. Take the long way around to her. And then, I don't know. Maybe over here seems kind of nice.
Are we going
Or
to?
maybe we clean it up a little bit.
I was going to say, I'm not so sure I want to have those spiders coming up behind us. What do you say? Should we burn them out?
Oh, I used fire last time. They won't do any good on them. They had that
Sweet,
fiendish
that's right.
nature to them. Those are those, like, fiendish-looking spiders that we,
You faced them before.
saw in the beginning. Yeah. They had fire. I used my
Okay.
pistol against them.
I
What
was
about their
just
webs?
thinking, the
Those are
webs.
still susceptible to burn, right?
Yes.
Drop them on the ground. I'm sure it still hurts to fall.
Burning the webs, yeah. If they're, like, suspended and everything, if they take some fall damage, get a little bit of a nice little surprise on them. But last time they were almost about to take drag self off, I think.
They almost killed Jim Jar.
Yeah.
Yes.
Eric, it's your call. Or pass. You're in the front.
I say we clean them up. No good reason to leave them hanging around, where they could potentially attack us in the back or get into the city.
Maybe we'll get some extra money out of it. I don't know. Help clean up the city and do our part. That sounds fun. Just hope something else doesn't come lingering up. But
We do know that these are like demon spiders, right? Like to be
Yes.
that's something that we ascertained when we fought them the first time. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because I had just said they were fiendish in nature because they had fire resistance. Because I shot them
Yeah.
with my pistol.
Yeah.
Get into position, boys.
Anyway, you want to go about this, or you just want to go in and start clubbering?
I mean,
I say burn the webs first.
There
them
you
a
go.
drop.
That's an idea. I like it. And which one of you points to the magic casters can shoot some flame up there?
Let me help with that. I aim. And if nobody's gonna move, I'll shoot at the web then.
No problem. Everybody please roll initiative then. If you engage with the demon feet then, blocking your way to the southeast.
Wow.
I'm shooting.
Since you are within vision of them, will not be a surprise round. Unless you were to announce a stealth check contested by their passive perception. But whenever you guys decide where you are at and initiative is ruled, I'll go ahead and engage in combat. For the sake of these boys, I'll go ahead and rule initiative for all of them. Sort. They're quick to react at the ignition of your magic spell, a flare in the distance, a glimmer in the dark. The first of the matron, with a hiss, begins to spider climb forth and move up to her speed. 40 feet toward like the end of her web. Like so. And attempting to, as you've seen before, spin this web between her feet and sling it forth. Bajarak, are you within 40 feet of me? Yes. As it goes spewing forth toward Bajarak, it's going to be against your armor class there.
No.
Missing you, splattering all over the wall, giving you the initiative.
Could I move my initiative, because I rolled a natural 20, below Isabel, because she was going to shoot the webs out and have them fall?
Go for it.
Cool. Or I'll do that.
You can also just hold an action if you wish, but that's fine. Oh, then giving Isabel a turn then.
It's up to you.
Okay, I'll aim to the web surrounding this guy. Shoot. It's
Natural 20
a
on
lot of
your
fire damage.
firebolt. Trusting that you have the range for that attack. 60 feet.
60, yeah.
Nice. I'll go ahead and tally that damage then. 4, 8, 6, 14. For a total of 32 halved damage. He's being slightly immune.
It was to the web,
Oh,
not to the spider.
okay. You're just burning the section of web beneath the spider over yonder?
Yes,
Okay.
to make it fall to the ground.
No problem. It falls, suffering instead of that damage, 8 falling damage. And lands prone on the ground.
Boys.
If that'll be the end of the turn, give him better initiative.
Yes, thank you.
Sorry, just to be on the battle. Yeah, 40. Okay. I'm gonna run up 40 feet on my 45. Because the target's prone, both attacks will be with advantage.
Mm-hmm.
And I will do some... these are going to be unarmed strikes, so I did not turn. Nice. 13.
You strike through
And a 23 to
the
hit?
carapace. Yeah, twice.
And for 9. I'm going to do bludgeoning.
For a total of 22. Wounding a creature.
I will... You know what? Screw it. I'll use a key point, and I'll just do another 2 unarmed strikes against it. Still prone.
Punching the soft sort of the already
25.
penetrated carapace. 25 pierces through, and 11 unfortunately does not hit as it flicks one of his legs to sort of parry you. For an additional 6 damage, though, that does strike. As you bring the creature closer to death's door, unless you wish to use your movement or any other thing else, it would be Gizmo's turn.
I'm just going to move 5 feet back.
Sure thing. I'm just gonna note something before Gizmo's turn. Actually, as a reaction, does have this arterial spray. Does whenever it is wounded and takes damage while it's below half its hit points, it sprays forth this poisonous cone of blood at you. Just a Constitution saving throw from Bajarak before we go with Gizmo's turn.
This is poison
Correct.
for a 21.
Half, and then half of half because you're a dwarf. 6.
And then half of 13, 6.
3.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll use a reaction and nah. You know what? It's I can't. Never mind. We're good.
Don't be pity, man.
Get your Tony.
All right. Since I am within 90 feet, I will use my bonus action to cast Hunter's Mark. And then I will take 2 shots at the... Let me just do the cast of Hunter's Mark. And then I will take 2 shots with my infused crossbow. And those are going to be at disadvantage because it's prone. So that's a 19 and a 14.
19 strikes.
So that will be for 9 plus the Hunter's Mark damage of a d6.
Nice.
15 points.
Bring closer to death.
And that's bonus action, and movement. I will just move a little bit closer. I cannot command Clank because I used my bonus action, so he'll just kind of trail with me and just do his dodge action, which is what he can do.
Self
That'll be my turn.
Is this over an hour since we fought the slimes? Or the oozes in the city?
Sure.
Definitely has been, yeah.
Okay.
Because we did the mini tour and stuff.
That's true, we did do a lot of talking too. Okay, I will move up and yeah, I'll hex this guy too on strength, and then I'll take 2 shots at him. So 12.
Eric will call out saying, "There's more spiders in the back," just in case they can't see them.
Oh, well, I mean, fingers off the piece, 12 and 14?
Where do you have disadvantage? Oh, because of range strike against something that's prone. 14 does not
Ranged
strike.
attack. Yeah.
Okay.
Dexter's creatures to the R, though injured and hexed, still maintain their arm class. Just your 2 blasts there?
Yeah, it's my bonus action too, so yeah, that's it.
Okay. Those spiderlings, the smaller specimens, skitter forth on their turn. As a mob. 30-foot climb speed. Skitter. Dash action for this one. Skitter at dash. Skitter dash. Skitter dash. Skitter dash. Eric, it is your turn.
Are these things on ground level? These guys right here?
They are monstrosities with no strategy. Therefore, I'm just going to randomize this, how high off the ground they are. That specimen currently that you're targeting is 30 feet off the ground over here, climbing on the wall.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
The rest of them are on the ground,
this
and one of them I think is hidden behind a wall. Or can you see him? I think you can see him.
I could see him, and then you just clicked it away.
How can you see him? He was like here, right?
I was able to see him. Yeah, he was like
Okay,
peeking
so yeah,
out. I thought maybe if I like move forward, I'd be able to see
from
him.
that angle. He's benefiting from half cover, but he's coming around the corner, and that specimen is low crawler, crawling on the wall 40 feet up.
Gotcha. Eric is gonna move forward towards the one that is prone. And
Go ahead,
while running
over here.
forward, he's gonna second wind. Giving himself 15 more feet of movement and some HP back. And he'll attack the prone spider.
I can't read that roll, so you just voice me what you roll there.
Oh, why can't you guys see it? It's a 27, and I rolled
27
15
hits.
damage.
15.
Is it still alive?
Yes.
Second attack. For another 15 damage.
Kills it.
Great. And, that is his turn.
Isabel?
I'm gonna do the same to the spider on the webs. I'm gonna aim the web so it falls down.
Taking 13 fall damage. Cracking a couple legs. Barely able to stand back up. It's prone, wriggling on the ground, a sorry sight. Just a hatchling.
Almost pity. That's what I feel for it. That's my turn.
Adrak?
Thanks, love. You're making this too easy. Moving up. And I'm going to... I'll bonus action. I'll turn. And then just 2 unarmed strikes against it. A 24
Which target?
for 9. The prone one, right next to me, down below.
24 kills it.
For 9? Okay. I moved about 10. Let me get my measuring tool. I want to make sure I do this right. Oh, I'm definitely close. I'll go to this one that's on the ground over here. Do you want me to re-roll
No.
the other part of my roll, or just use the... Okay, that one would just be at normal then, and a 7 would miss. And I use my bonus.
You understand why I
here.
don't want you to re-roll, Nick? I'm not just saying no for funsies, like, because it will be like pseudo advantage if you re-roll.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
I that's totally fine.
Okay.
Then I'm going to I'm actually gonna break off. So 10, 20, 25, 30. Okay, I'm gonna move back 30-ish feet. And if he wants to take an attack of opportunity, he could.
Sounds good. Attempting that. Gadgetoni's crossbow reloaded. Gadgetoni, go ahead and take your turn.
Will bonus action move my hunter's mark from the dead matron to the this one closest to me, and I will take 2 shots with the crossbow. That'll be a 22
Both hit.
and a 16. So that's 23 and 2d6.
And which spiderling
30
did you target? The one closest to you?
Yes.
Plops off the wall and like debugging a tick. It twishes on the ground a little bit before dying.
Awesome. And I will move forward another, I guess, 15 feet or so, and Clank will move up and kind of put himself between me and some threats, and that'll be my turn.
Sounds good.
Good shot, Gizmo.
Alrighty then. Giving
Thank you very
self-initiative.
much.
Okay, I'll move up a little bit and I'll move my strength hex on this one and then give it 2 pops. 21 and an 11.
21 hits.
8 force and then 1d6.
Pushing it back.
So 12 total. Yeah, I'm going to push him back.
That
This,
one
this
that's on
one
the
over
web.
here, the one
Ah,
to the...
okay.
Well, no, the one that's down here is like a little bit higher, right?
It's on the webs, same level. This one's climbing
Yeah, I'll
40 feet. The webs are like about the same height, so. I just missed
Okay,
your ping.
yeah,
Which one you targeted? Yeah, okay.
I'll try to knock this one back if possible.
Sounds good.
I'll do that one.
Dealing total of 12 damage. As the web walker skids across its web, stabilizing itself. Anything to follow up?
Yep, that's it.
Alrighty then. Attacking your front line, the two spiderlings rush forward. One of them biting down at Bazrak for a second bite there. It's going to be a 19 again to strike. 9 piercing damage and poison for DC 13 Constitution saving throw from Bazrak. The second one of them scuttles down the wall and maneuvers up to Bazrak, but uses the dash action to do that.
21 was a save.
So taking 3d6 halved 5 plus the 9 piercing. And the spider one that just got knocked back on the web is gonna go ahead and again, beast not very intelligent, rush across the wall, descending down toward where Gizmo is standing, flopping down, preparing a lunging attack against Gizmo, giving Eric the initiative.
Real quick, I'm going to use a reaction, and
Yep.
I'm going to try and deflect his attack. And so I negate 10 of that damage.
Sounds good.
Eric will move, flanking around the small spiders attacking Bazrak. And strike at the one on his right first.
Anything about a 13 armor class will strike your target. How much damage? Kills it. Clean strike.
One on the left. 14.
Wounds it. It's on death's door.
Okay, I'll take aim to the one that's still wounded. Taking a shot between south in front of me. Sorry.
A tough
18
shot,
hit.
but you shoot like thread between the needles. Alright. For a total of, doesn't matter, it has like 2 HP. That kills it.
Yeah. Can I move this guy? Sorry, it's stuck in the wall. Songbird.
Move who?
My construct, Songbird. They're like the wall.
Where are they? I don't even see them.
You don't see them? Ah, maybe it's
It's on the
it's
map.
stuck on
We can play imaginary. Where would you like them? I can put them down.
behind me, and he will just send a lightning to the one that is alive. Not one, so he is stuck in the wall. He is hitting every wall he sees. Poor guy. He needs new batteries, and that's my all actions.
Give them Bazrak initiative.
Looks like everything's dead, right?
One more target right beside Gizmo about to strike.
Oh, right beside you. Oh, I'm sorry. I completely missed that. I am... let's go help our little friend out here. Seeing the last one alive and just kind of honing in, he's just going to start, like, he just gets like a real leaping rush. And he is just going to go full sprint and just go for 2 claw attacks. At normal, a 15. I'm sorry, did you say 14 or above hits?
13 or above hits.
Okay. For 8 slashing, and then a natural 1.
You can
Missing.
describe a kill.
Oh. Yeah, as he kind of like sees the spider's maw kind of coming up and maybe gonna try and clamp down on Gizmo here, he's just gonna kind of just come up, have his claws kind of rake against the ground, and just do like a big old uppercut, just completely just, you know, striking it down. Does like a little backflip because it's so small.
And that'll be end of combat as you have cleared this monster den.
Oh, thank you so much, Baz. That the one that was just about to nibble on my kneecaps.
I could let that happen.
Gizmo just kind of like pushes it, prods it a little bit with his toe just to make sure that it's really dead.
After that, my, you ain't gotta worry. He ain't going nowhere. Maybe some of these oozes will come cleaning up. You got a nice... You're getting a little bit better with that crossbow every time you start using it.
Oh, it's a pretty fine instrument, I must say. Thank you.
You ever do a lot of fighting and kind of keep you see me as a little brainiac? I guess the situation forces you to, you know, adapt or die, I guess, per se.
Well, I spent many years in the libraries and in the stacks and in the classrooms, but I get out every once in a while in the practice. I was not completely green when I showed up. I had a couple of adventures under my belt, but nothing like we've seen so far.
Yeah, I got you. Oh. Nice little surprise then, I guess. That's about as good as a compliment he'll give. Alright. As he's like kind of claps his hands together and starts rubbing them a little bit, he kind of comes out of his form. Still pushing south. Looks like that way goes back to the Senate chamber there. I won't be getting messed next to them oozes.
Should we use the fire to clear off the rest of those webs? Maybe we should make our way through that.
Are the webs just suspended like up above, like in the kind of cavernous like town area, or are they like all on the surface, like the ground, going 40 feet up or so?
Stretching from the ceiling to the ground, as you would imagine. Spiders sort of wanting to catch whatever passes through these chambers, but given the right tools, you'll be able to clear a path now that you don't have monsters to worry about.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll say like a little bit of a fire. Might get some attention, but...
Gizmo's going to go over to Isabel and say, I think you and me, we have this, yes? We can use our firebolt to clear these webs?
I started doing it a while ago. I was waiting for you to help me on that.
Oh, I got it now. I'll put my crossbow away and pull out my all-purpose tool and start casting firebolt to clear off some webs. Blast here and a blast there.
Clearing the way forward.
Keep an eye open. Maybe they got some of the miners going this way, or some of the explorers.
The spiders?
Yes, I'm just checking like if there is like any loot.
A few cocoons hold the remains of explorers who have fallen to these spiders. Loot, eh?
Yes, if there is any.
You sure you want to be digging around in them cocoons?
Investigation check, please, if you dare.
If I dare. Okay, with advantage. Because the crystal. 25.
Give me a second. Get roleplay between each other.
There's rather nasty looking creatures here. But I think Isabel's looking for some treasures.
Look at the size of these fangs. Oh, it's like your legs, Gizmo.
Yes, I did not get a chance to examine them up close on our last encounter. Gizmo will poke and prod and pull out his journal and start to do a little sketch.
As you complete your sketch,
you don't need that.
Isabel, you find several items. You find a silk-covered pouch of some poor weary adventurer just sort of lying in dust on the ground. It's web wrapped, but within, jingle of coins. Opening up the pouch, you find 23 gold and 7 platinum pieces. Otherwise, the pouch is like sticky to the touch, sticks to your hand a little bit, but the coins are pristine. You note the mintage, Menzobernsanian, meaning drow coins. But gold is gold.
Have something to pay for the inn tonight, at least.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice.
None of them are moving or anything like that, are they? Like the cocoon, like web bundles.
All of them are moving. Are not moving.
Okay.
Oh.
Just making sure. Just in case there's any survivors that are hearing us and struggling or something.
That's so
I
fortunate.
heard that the other way around myself.
Mm.
I did too. I was like, oh, we gotta
Okay.
run.
They're all moving. Whoa! Shouldn't be bad. Okay. That does seem like rewarded your efforts there, my friend.
This body looks like has been for a long time here, or maybe weeks, maybe months. It's
Weeks.
bare bones. That's the question.
It's not bare bones, it's not bleached bones or anything. It's more like desiccated, as if something has pulled all the fluids from it. Oozes have not discovered a body, so it was simply fed on by spiders. Been weeks, maybe months. Not so much years, or to the point where this will be like nothing but bones and dust.
Okay. Still south.
Southwards, you begin to see the shimmer of a Phaser's field, a familiar scene in the Underdark. Those of you unfamiliar with Phasers, it is remnants of old magic from the time of the creation of the Underdark itself that fosters a sort of innate chaos. Spells cast within it tend to drive people to madness or affect them in some way, even to wild surge effects sometimes do sprout from people who cast spells within such fields, if that's clear. Otherwise, the tunnels stretch onwards into darkness.
Should we try this side one over here first? Gizmo will just peek around the corner.
I'm down to go whichever way. Keep leading on. Okay. Going down. Come on,
I
gang.
think it leads
Let's
in the
all
same
go.
direction.
Now that I see it does wrap around with my dwarf vision.
Another 10, 20,
Oh,
20 minutes pass as you explore around the cavern, sometimes getting lost and loopering around.
southeast corner. You can tell. Breaks off over there.
And it is eerily desolate. Now and then, Bajarak, you think it's a trick of the light or something, or maybe your eyes playing tricks on you, but you swear you see a humanoid figure. Small, like a creeping kobold around a corner, or some wispy, glowing outline. But as soon as you take a second glance, it is gone. This place seems to be haunted. There's a cold chill in the air. All throughout, remnants of old battles, too. Old, rusted drow weapons, no longer of any good use, gnomish hammers. Homes long abandoned, now in ruin.
I got the feeling the dead are beside us. Catch a shadow every once in a while. Can't never really fully trace it down. Must have been what they were talking about earlier in the city.
They seem
Our-
to be revering their dead rather than afraid of them. Perhaps we have nothing to fear.
That's a bunch of bollocks. The dead always come back. They don't go to the other realm, whatever. If they're staying here, they're angry. They're doing something. There'd be no reason for them to be here. Must have been a terrible battle.
Yes, I believe they said the drow decimated this city. It's only been the last few years they've been bringing it back.
That takes time. Dead ain't gonna move on though. He's just still kind of keeping his senses up. Noticing that something might be kind of following or tailing, I'm actually gonna go ahead and transform. That way I can start using my senses like smell and hearing just a little bit better, just to kind of catch anything, whispers, movement, other than funky ooze smell.
Yeah, perception check.
Perception. 14.
Off in the distance, just out of vision, always skittering away from you as you approach, as it hears you too. Whatever creature you're being tailed by, it's smells of rat.
Oh, I know the smell. He just kind of takes in a big whiff, like a big, whiff of air kind of going in. His nostrils expand. Ears starts to kind of flicker a little bit. Fingers twinge. Yeah. Excuse me, what the hell am I trying to say?
You can't tell their number, but it can tell that there's multiple of them.
Okay. Smaller in size, perhaps. Multiples of them. They're just watching now. Maybe they
What?
know some that we don't. What?
Multiple whats?
Of the were rats.
Oh.
Of the...
I thought they were
They're-
further north.
The further north doesn't mean that they don't go out and check to see what's going on everywhere else.
Part of the problem
They
is
have been causing.
they go south too.
I mean, I don't know
Either-
what like in politics is like, but do you want to take the lead just in case? Maybe they see you, and would you be a friendly face or an unfriendly face?
Depends how they act. I was hoping not. That if we made it back to the city before paying them a visit, might be do some good to get some silver for us. I don't know how they're gonna act. I don't know who's leading them. I don't know anything about them. I'd like to find more information first.
Are they
before
are
I-
they pacing us? Are they keeping an eye on us?
Definitely keeping an eye, but keeping their distance. They're good at it. Those well rats know what they're doing. Good at stealthing.
Ezrek, are they in front of us or behind us or all around us? You see Gizmo nervously looking up in the ceiling and around.
You can't tell the sense of direction precisely, but as you proceed further southward, the smell does intensify slightly and get mixed with something that smells like a campfire or burning mushrooms and zirkwood. Further
Could be
ahead,
at least a nut one.
in the distance, is a small glimmer of a campfire. And you can see two humanoid figures, small in stature, maybe 3 feet tall, join a third around a campfire. Their eyes are glowing red in the dark.
Maybe we should announce our presence. I mean, considering they already know we're here, at least let them know we don't mean them any harm.
I'm fun by that.
I'm just saying, I mean, you coming out of the dock is not exactly, waving the white flag.
Your keen hearing picks up the slight click of mechanical triggers being pulled and set as they seem to be loading crossbow bolts into their weapons.
Can we-
That's
can
the
we
sound
see-
I don't like.
Can we
I have
see them from here?
120.
Like the
The glimmer of light ahead of
Like-
you guys is to the west, about 130 feet away from where you stand, Self, but you do see the glimmer of light as I put light on the map. Like so. It is a very brief glimmer as they begin to sort of two of them, you can see it's loading their crossbows and looking at you, glancing now and then with very skitterish movements, eyes glowing red and dark, and a third begins to sort of douse the fire, and you can see smoke begin to like envelop their forms as the light douses lower and lower.
I'm gonna put my hands up and just walk forward. Whoa, whoa, whoa! We don't mean you any harm. Don't worry about us. We're not here for a fight. Quite the opposite, actually.
Buzz, do your leak and magic and disarm them before we do.
Don't really have any magics to disarm. I'd have to get right up in their face.
I mean, your words, that's what I'm trying to tell. Use your words.
Now. We won't be needing those anymore. Listen, I approach you as a friend. You and I are very similar, and I'm willing to negotiate. Maybe you can help us out. Maybe understand a little bit of what's going on. I'll still keep moving closer. Fuck it.
Sure. They're not dropping their weapons. They're very skittishly watching you as the flames go lower and lower, and they begin to sort of crouch low. They haven't fired their weapons yet, so make your case while they still practice that sort of a patience.
It's alright. I understand. New faces. Could be scary. But me and my compatriots here, we don't want to bring you harm. I just simply want to hear what you got to say. You see, the ones in the city, they think you're up to no good. Attacking, skirmishing. I think there's more to it. I think maybe you've got some misplaced anger. Maybe something I could help with. Maybe something might do you some good. Maybe I can put you in the right direction. Now, they won't bring you any harm. They're good. Some of them, not so much, but hey, we're all friends here. I keep moving closer.
As they continue to cautiously watch you, do you make a case of how you can help them?
My name is Bazarak Goldfang of Clan Goldfang Monastery in Gracklestuk. Are you familiar with the place? And kind of describing where it's at, maybe. If not, that's alright. Bit of a trek. Don't expect you to go all the way down there, not with everything's going on. Especially what's happening over here, with that demonic presence. You see, the Goldfangs, we take your kind in. We've got plenty of were-rats. We know how to use your talents. Here, trying to fight, survive, with each other. The gnomes, even the drow, I heard them moving in. No. Not with us. Not with me. What my father has is a legacy of taking in any of these liking kind. And we can use your skills. You're great fighters. Perfect stealthers. You'd be great for what's to come. You've seen it yourself. Demons coming out from the abyss. You can't fight them yourself. But you'll have at least a fighting chance with me and my clan. They'll accept you. But you gotta learn our ways. Discipline, courage, integrity. That's what we live by. You look like an upstanding bunch. I know there's more of you somewhere. But please, let's discuss more. I'm not here to fight. I don't wanna. I've had too many of your kind from the above world. From the surface. I've taken them in. We've told them the real way. Of how to be real werewolves, tigers, rats, everything. So please, put your weapons to the side. Hear what we gotta say. And I'm willing to listen to you. And I'll move closer.
Taking a diplomatic route and not seeing them as monsters, not attack them outright, though monsters they are, and proposing what you are proposing, you do find a common tongue with them. I'll ask you to roll me a persuasion check. Nonetheless, they are skittish creatures, being cautious of any tricks of the Underdark, and you are coming from a slaver race who enslaves their fellow gnomes. But diplomacy might succeed here, as we have... What's your rule for persuasion? 7.
7. That sucks. I have a negative too.
So
you
it's
say
a
with
partial.
my mom?
It is a. I'll give you a partial success here, where they will not linger about to talk to you here. Cautious as they are, seeing that you're not attacking, they douse their flame and try and make sure that there's no tracks of them left. And you can just already see 2 of them begin to skitter back into the darkness, as a third of them gives you a word, gives you a message to seek one called Chipgrin, their leader. If you mean your words. They don't wish to take any risk and negotiate here, being outnumbered in the dark here, with your group encroaching behind too. But they have witnessed what you're capable of. They have seen you dispose of those spiders. They have seen you escape fighters. And if your word is true, you'd want to speak to their leader.
Okay. As they like start to run off
Mhm.
and kind of do whatever, as they're kind of going away, like he just kind of raises his voice to kind of echo down the chamber that they're leaving in. That's fine. I'll come find you. Won't be too long. We'll talk then. And remember the name, Bazarak. We'll be seeing you soon.
And they will know
And
that
that's
you're coming. That is the brief encounter with the first of the were-rats you have seen sighted here, as they disappear back into the darkness, leaving behind only remnants of their encampment.
Well,
That wasn't too bad. It could have been worse.
yeah, you're right. It could have been. Could have been hundreds of them. We could have been surrounded and all shanked to death. I've seen it.
That would have been much worse, yes.
Oh, yeah. But they're
You've seen
listening.
were-rats do that?
Mike, they're in my clan. We take all sorts of able bodies. Were-rats, tigers, bears, wolves. Don't matter.
I see.
They're fast. They're sneaky. But, well, they know we're coming. But they didn't attack us straight up from the gate. So I'm hoping for a better turnout next time.
Mm-hmm. From what you gauge with them, though you did engage them with diplomacy, I'll give you credit for that. You can tell that they were hostile, just by their innate nature of trying to survive around this place. Clan Gold Whisker and their number are always looking for new places to settle within the ruins of this former city. And I'm sorry, but a werewolf coming out of the darkness is seen as a threat to them.
Yeah.
Same as anything.
That's fine. That's cool.
But I have given you a name if you wish to engage in diplomacy.
I think that would be the better route. I don't know who this Chipgrin is. Actually, you know what? No. Have I? Or
No.
too far away to know?
You
I
are
think. Okay,
new
that's
to
fine.
Blingdenstone and their diplomacies, but
Cool.
from what you've learned, Clan Golden
Never heard of
Whisker chief.
Perhaps they will give your name to this Chipgrin too, and perhaps they will send emissaries to us.
I can only hope.
Yes. Hopefully
that's
we
to-
can be great allies and we can help them in the future as much as they help us. And then I'm going to telepathically reach out to you in your head. Yes, they're definitely still listening, so ham it up a little bit.
Oh yes. Great, great stealthers and fighters, like I said. They've got a place with us.
Well, hopefully a place in Blingdenstone. You know, the city is mostly abandoned at this point, so hopefully there can be a whole were-rat ward where they can make a home for themselves.
Best case scenario, I hope. But the thing is, this is the gnome's home. I don't think they might want to share, despite whatever thing is going on between them. With
I mean, they'd have to earn it. They'd have to clear out the, infested areas of the city. But I'm sure the
Perhaps
gnomes
so.
also don't want to continue fighting these things, so better allies
These
than enemies.
these individuals were not always were-rats. Perhaps they were gnomes of this very city themselves beforehand. I suspect many of them were.
if that is
Very
true,
good point, Gizmo.
yeah, they just need to
These,
learn how
some-
to reintegrate back into their own kind. We did it. We were able to make that leap. I'm sure the the way God before us and my ancestors, yeah, they probably would have put us in chains. But we proved ourselves. I mean, that's just what they need. It's just a chance. But politics and oh man, makes my head spin.
Self, your boot steps on a piece of gnawed bone that crackles beneath your boot. You see there are chew marks upon it, like rodent-like. This pile of bones, stripped of meat, chewed at ends, teeth, deep teeth marks. Among the bones, you notice a few scattered pieces of like humanoid remains as well, raising questions about the victim's fates. You also see amid this plethora of remains is a set of like rusted but well-used thieves' tools, sort of left behind near the entrance to like a side tunnel. Some tools are like bent or broken, suggesting like very hasty use or like desperate attempts to pick locks. The tools are like marked with tiny symbols, like claw, rat paw marks, scratchings, like a possible calling card of the were-rat thieves that have gone through here. But as your eyes sort of scan the area with that sort of calculating what happened here, you see there are two bones of like hands with like the wrist bones, and one of them bears like a set of broken shackles.
The bones of the hand, do they look like they're lichen? Like, do they look like they're half humanoid, half animal? Or do they look mostly...
They look gnomish. By proportion,
Gnomish.
humanoid and small.
I'll call the group over. Someone come take a look at this. I don't know what I'm seeing exactly here. But we have some shackles, some hand bones. They look tiny, about gizmo size.
If it looks like someone was a prisoner, and unfortunately, whatever attempts were made to escape those bonds did not work. I see the broken tools right here.
Yes. You recognize any of these markings?
They just seem
Most
to
of
be
these
like
markings
scratchings.
are foreign.
They're not language or symbols or anything.
Yeah.
They're just animal marks.
Okay, well,
Mhm.
I guess I'll
Trying to
hold
get
on
their own.
these.
Yeah, just trying to get their own kind out of the locks.
Well,
Possible conqueror. Well,
shall we continue?
I ain't got much to go on. Not until we talk to them. So yeah, press on. Medusa's got to be up ahead. I feel like we've been walking a while.
You're walking, tracing your hand along the rubble to your left there, Self. And Badrak, you with your senses pick up the noise as well. You see in the distance, maybe 100 feet ahead through the darkness, but its eyes reflecting your the Dawnbringer's light and your torchlights if you carry them, is a bizarre-looking creature, seemingly tripedal, 3 feet. With two hands on either side and these bulging orange eyes about its body, and a giant gaping maw with teeth at the very top of its body. And it seems to be shoveling the rubble into its mouth and just eating rocks, all the while grumbling himself in like a very grovelly voice in a language you don't understand. Save you, Isabel, because you speak primordial. This is a creature of the earth. Its words are not of wisdom or anything vital information. It seems to be just mumbling to itself, talking as it's looking for food and anything shiny.
Will I... I'm muted? No. Will I be aware what's their considered food for them?
Go ahead and roll me. This is going to be an elemental to inspect, so that will be Arcana check to identify the creature as you guys approach close enough to see it over yonder. It doesn't seem to be hostile or doesn't care for your presence, or it's too busy looking for food to detect your presence. With an 18 Arcana, you recognize this to be a Xorn. Xorn, and I'll show you what they look like for the sake of They are bizarre creatures of the elemental plane of Earth, used by many mages and some gem seekers to seek out precious gemstones and metals. They are capable of tunneling through earth and rock to consume these treasures. On the material plane, Xorn must range far and wide through the Underdark to sustain himself, so it's very often that you might encounter one in these regions. They are known to be docile, though there have been cases of them becoming sort of aggressive toward like miners and treasure hunters when the valuable minerals of their diet are scarce, right? So sort of contention of resources. With an 18, you'd also be able to recall a little bit of what you might have read up about them if you're curious about their origins. But it's up to you.
Yeah, tell me a bit of them.
Yeah, the short of it is that in terms of their origins, it's suggested by some that it's unusually heavy body and large, powerful mouth sitting on top of its head. Sorry, I got lost in the paragraph here I'm reading.
Alright.
Scratch that. I'm sorry. I don't have anything for you there. It's from the elemental plane for Earth. I was reading something else. It just was weirdly worded. Yeah. From just observing it, you can see that it has two eyes currently looking in your direction, and a third one looking on the ground, probably where the front of its face would be, sort of scouring the ground in front of it. So it has noticed you guys, but it doesn't seem to be acting in any hostile manner as it searches around for. I'll give you a chance to react, I suppose.
Yeah. Okay, I'll tell him. This side of the mines are depleted, but we're exploring the rest of this area. If you help us, we will find something for you to consume.
Roll me a persuasion check with advantage.
Jesus, look at the size of that thing.
It's actually up to...
Well,
it's like dwarf-sized. It's your size.
Oh, is it? Oh.
Yeah. It looks
It looks so
intimidating
much
because
bigger
it's so
than the picture.
stocky. But it's actually quite a cute little fella. Easily done.
Look at that maw.
Grumbling and dragging its feet with heavy footsteps, it begins to encroach closer toward Isabel and just looks at you with those big old puppy eyes, sniffing about your form, trying to detect any shiny pieces and jewelry you have about you. And it just keeps on following Isabel. Now and then it will settle on the ground, sort of camouflage itself in place, closing its item every day, but as soon as you guys keep on moving ahead, it will pick itself up and continue to follow Isabel.
I gotta defeat it at some point. You got anything?
we have some things,
Hey.
but we cannot use that.
What does it
These
do? Rock.
Minerals.
Minerals and gems, perhaps precious ores, things like that. I would not flash any gemstones or rings or anything in front of it for fear you might lose a finger. At that, Gizmo reaches down and twists his ring around so that it's less obvious on his hand.
You can tell the creature is sniffing about, sensing the treasure on your finger about you guys. It can tell that you guys have stuff on you and just keeps on looking at you up with that puppy eye. Through its grovelly voice, you can tell that it's been a long time since it's just feasted and it's practically starving at this point. But this is a double-edged blade, an opportunity, if you will. This being a treasure seeker, if you keep it around... Yeah. Eric will do what?
Eric will toss it one of his break.
His what?
One of his bright crystals. The glowing crystals that he sold one of before.
Steadily begins munching on it. content, occupied for the time, distracted perhaps for you to slip away if you would want to get rid of him. But if you give him time, he'll consume the object and continue following you, likely.
If you guys don't mind, we got that zircon from the city. It
Let's
could put him in better shape. Like you
Let's,
see that gray color? That's not normal for him. That shouldn't be that there.
perhaps if we continue on, we can find something else for him to eat.
Maybe he can find something for us. If he's
Don't
attracted
we
to all
have
this.
don't we have a
Yes.
depleted like elemental gem?
I think it's consumed after it, but let me check.
I was going to say you used it to call the elemental, right? I think that
Right.
requires it to be broken.
Correct.
That's
And
the
it's-
part. Yeah, okay, that's what I wanted to check.
Isn't it smashed? I think it's
What
smashed.
about what?
I mean, well, what do you think was going to happen when he chews it up? I mean, did you keep the pieces? I thought that you offered it to someone in town, right?
Ah, the ring. It was the ring, not the gem. The ring is, well, it's still damaged. It may be still salvageable. I'd rather not depart from it.
Yeah, so let's continue on. Perhaps we find something for him further down.
All right.
Okay, I'll do that. And while everyone's going forward, I'll pick up the circum gem and just throw it back for the poor guy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You giving him the 50 GP zircon?
Yes. Like, it's what size is it, Tom? Just wondering. Like, it's like my fist, bigger, small.
Yeah, it's about half your palm. Zircons are pretty expensive by mass.
He treat it like a big jawbreaker.
Okay, so
Yeah.
the party just letting this happen.
It's got a suck
He
on it.
gobbles it up and destroys it with a few munches, and happily content, he, in his grovelly voice, voices thanks and an offering of service. He's capable of clearing one small, like, rubble blockage for you. The one in front of him is too mighty for him to lift. It's practically 10 times his size. But something along the lines of the rubble blockage to the direct west from here will be something that he can clear the way for you as thanks for feeding him, for he hasn't eaten a decent sapphire in ages.
Alright. It's a service he provides. We pay, he moves Earth. That's fine.
It's good.
Can't lose much.
It will save us time from moving from these tunnels.
I don't want to keep doubling back.
But I'm Primordial, can you help me here? I got stuck with this rubble. My leg is cramped. I cannot move, man.
Bite it off.
You eventually wedge yourself out, stop putting stuff in the wall. A flawless garnet, radiant, full of flavor. It can be this blockage, it can be another one, but he'll follow you all the while. For now, sated. You have made a friend.
Friend, no food.
Say just do this one. Let's hear
What
it.
what I don't know is like a little. Yeah, I mean it's the one we're having fun. Yeah, let's do it.
Your lot is too kind. A rare thing. He just sort of picks his teeth out still, like you can see the remaining of the zircon, the blue shimmer of it. Look at that sparkle, that shine. In my belly now. Delicious. In return, this. And he begins to heftily lift the boulders up, clearing this passage over yonder. Let me go ahead and open up this passage. Beyond, you glimpse the light of glowing mushrooms, a plethora garden of sorts. And in the distance, the clinking of machines and steampunk-like steam escaping whatever gnomish rather machinery is echoing in distant caverns. The creature does not proceed from here, for it fears what lies beyond this. Strange creatures with their metal works and their sharp, pointed sticks. It shall remain here in its earthly domain. But should you wish to explore onwards, you find yourselves in a sort of a cultivation cave of sorts, a spacious cavern filled with rows of carefully tended fungi, their colors ranging from pale blue to deep green and rusty red. Delicate spores sort of drift lazily in the air, caught in the beam of light cast from these caged beetles mounted around the chamber. These fire beetles flutter about, adding a warm glow to the otherwise shadowed walls. Neatly arranged, you see thick-stalked, barrel stalks stand in clusters, each one large enough to sort of hold water if hollowed out. Alongside them, slender, pale blue caps from dense patches, their round caps forming an almost carpet-like layer across the stone. A few prickly, fibrous knee-hog's noses grow nearby, their pointed tips and rough surfaces giving them this gnarled appearance. Here and there, you can also see luminescent torch stalks glow in the faint light, and broad-capped trillimax that tower above the other fungi, their enormous mushroom caps spreading wide as if shading the smaller plants beneath them. There are two passages leading here, north and northeast. And the one that's been blocked has been sort of cleared, so there's that. There's a faint etching carved into the stone of the southern barrier where Gizmo stands. The etching reads in Gnomish. By order of the Stoneheart Enclave, no elemental shall pass beyond this point. Beware the cursed cavern ahead. Ogmiroch, Spain, claimed the spaces beyond its domain.
Looks like we've found at least one of the blockaded entrance to the Rock Blight caverns.
Well, probably blocked for a good reason here. Maybe there's a different entrance we could try to find. Maybe something that has more eyes on it.
Exorn offered to clear it if you choose to. That's also an option before departing. But it says it dares not cross past the threshold of this place, for something foul lies there, and it keeps to its northern passages where it's safer, it says.
Yeah, Sorn, please explain it. And what's your name? It will be useful.
Sorry, I don't understand what you just said.
I asked for his name.
Done. For feeding the Zorn, your services bought your patient kind, clearing two ways forward. Before then, wishing you the best of fortune, facing off whatever evil lies beyond. It, in turn, turns to flee, sort of stone gliding into the earth, and continue to search for more food before it is spotted in this place. Goodbye. Perhaps your paths will cross again.
What's
Hopefully
your
we'll see him
name?
again.
Your name, Sorn.
Elementals are not bound to names.
Oh, I'll just say Sorn. Okay.
Names is something that's...
I learned today.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was asking more for reasons of this spell, like message for the film, but it's good to know.
You know what?
Well,
Because it's
No,
fun.
if I'm familiar with the target, I don't need to know his name.
Okay.
I know Sorn. That's my Sorn.
yeah, just call him Zorn. If he's the only one.
His name is Glimmermaw.
Glimmermaw. You know, we call him like that. He's like, what's his name? Well, you look like a Glimmermaw.
So he has opened up this passage for us to the south.
Correct.
This is the Rock Blight region, which we were given the mission to cleanse. You have that hallow gem, yes?
Someone has it, right?
I'm muted.
Isabel?
I bring it back out of the bag of holding. Sorry, it's what was down in the bottom. Couldn't reach it.
Oh, thank goodness! For a moment there, I thought perhaps your friend had eaten it.
Oh, they're kind souls. They don't do that. Sharp fit to break stone, not to steal.
Well, if we're moving all this rubble, then let's be quick about it, for nothing else should try and come through. There's no guards down here, there's no nothing. Well, it looks like the place is used or inhabited or something. Are we under the city?
We should be in a section along the edge of the city, I believe, from my look at the maps earlier.
That seems about right.
We have these patches of mushrooms, but they must keep it. So
If anybody here is charting
Nobody
maps
is.
of Blingdenstone and its outskirts, you are directly east of the Ruby in the Rough temple.
I'll pick up in our bundle shard thing. It's like, no, we're just directly east of the temple.
well, we should tread carefully now. Like we don't know what's on the other side.
I know. I thought we made a line directly towards the Medusa, and we've instead encountered everything but the Medusa. We came across the were-rats, and now we're onto the elementals, and
I'm not
your guess is as
complaining.
good as mine.
You know, maybe the Medusa is a myth. You know, like I haven't seen any statues. Or...
Well,
Not yet.
Hey,
You think that Dorn ate all the statues?
That's possible.
Can we
It
ask?
is
We should go back and ask him. Them.
He's long gone now.
yes.
You want to keep him around,
Look,
you
before
should
we-
have dangled that carrot for longer.
Yeah.
You fed him right away.
Before we go any further in, anyone got any scrapes, boo-boos they need to fix? Top off on anything?
Why are you looking at me? I'm feeling fine.
I just got some noticeable scrapes, banged up a little bit. Anyone interested in a short rest?
I mean, I wouldn't say no.
Can do.
It would
You
give
guys
us
short
a
rest?
little time to investigate and perhaps collect some of these mushroom samples.
Yeah, maybe go back and look at that where we found those wrists and those manacles that were broken. Maybe there's something more to learn with that, but I wouldn't say no to it. I mean, I feel fine. I'm a little bit exhausted. We've been going hard ever since we hit the city, but it could go either way. If you need a break, we can take a break.
I can handle myself. Push forward. How are you feeling, young lordling? Is your
I am fine,
grace feeling tired?
but we could short rest. Eric sort of
Alright.
smiles and says, I'm feeling fine, but we could short rest.
Alright, I'll take a little rest then.
Make sure we're extra prepared. Gizmo,
Yes.
you are very good with that crossbow that you use. Are you self-taught?
Well, I have had the summer practice while at Candlekeep. I set up a little bit of a range in the side of my workshop. Occasionally, it causes problems. Oh, yes, I didn't
Nice.
want to risk an embarrassment of being seen outside if there was a mishap.
I've struggled with my aim before, but perhaps you could show me some pointers.
Oh, sure, I'd be happy to show you. That would be my pleasure. Here, since we have a little time, you see, let me set up a few things. You see this, a big mushroom stalk over here? And Gizmo will pick one out that's at kind of a shorter range, and he will show Eric the crossbow. Here's how you use. This one you don't actually have. Oh, yeah, it's never mind. You would have to put ammunition on it because you're not attuned to it. But yeah, here I have some crossbow bolts. You can take a couple of shots. You roll, you wind it back until it clicks. Hold it tight to your shoulder, but don't squeeze. And then just gently pull the trigger. He gives them some more instruction.
Eric tests out the crossbow bolt, feeling the balance of the thing, trying to see how he likes it compared to compared to his attempts at simply throwing things in the past. I like how it sort of balances itself.
Yeah, it's not so bad, right? You get the one hand here, you get the other, you kind of tuck it right into your shoulder. You look right down the length of it. Oh, that's not so bad. Yeah, you want to stand kind of at the 90-degree angle to your target if you can. You don't shoot straight forward. Oh, you can, but it's not less accurate. And he's going to continue to prattle on and give him whatever tips he thinks he knows about how to use a crossbow.
Eric will listen attentively.
Are you planning to get one, Eric?
Perhaps. I have been considering the idea of trying to get some kind of ranged weapon for when I can't get close enough to use Dawnbringer. I've never really trained with them before, so I'm exploring options.
Like I said, I know a guy.
I'm good.
And then I'd shoot an Eldritch Blast into one of the mushroom caps. Just saying. This did not take me any practice whatsoever. It just manifested, and I'm good.
The Lordling's too pure for that. He's got a name to be making for himself up above. Can't be going back with that kind of affiliation.
Maybe they just cancel each other out then, you know?
He shakes his hand. Don't be listening to him, mate. You're good the way you are. You're a strong fighter. You just need something more. That spider had you on the ropes almost.
Yes, you just need a little bit more because you are lacking. And, I'm just saying, give it some thought.
Maybe we'll find something down here.
See what I can pursue through my own efforts.
Sure.
I'm sure the gnome's got something they can tinker up. What? I'm feeling... What's this saying? Bright as rain.
You've never seen rain before.
I simulate it from the watery dew that comes down the stalactites. There, rain.
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny if, people from the Underdark still use that saying, but they have no idea where it comes from or what rain is.
That's why every time he's like,
what's rain? I don't know.
Right.
Fun fact, Badrak, if you're curious, it does rain in the Underdark. Just not in the circumstances and on the surface from clouds, but...
I figured there had to be some kind of, ecosystem movement
phenomena, yeah.
Yeah.
It's more like other
There you
organism
go.
releasing fluids to trickle down, sort of thing, which your dwarven kind would know as rain. Has Betrak ever been to the surface in his whole life?
I would say very, very briefly for anything that
Hmm.
would maybe like recruiting lichens, but not like super.
Cool.
Doesn't really know where cities and all that stuff is at.
Even Drow know what rain is. Yeah. Cool.
But
So
yeah, while he's healing and everything, he's
Oh,
just taking
okay.
into account.
Okay.
You're good.
Yeah, Gizmo, I need a real quick break. I'll be right back.
A little water refreshment.
I will note something that Jimjar would probably voice at this point of the rest as he glances toward the dismantled barricade leading to Rockblight. He can't help but voice his concern toward the party having stripped this defense point from Blingdenstone. He will not narc on the party, obviously. A party should act together. But this does prove to be a vulnerability to the city, and if we stun this, he says, then better make sure that nothing comes through here.
We'll make it work. But
You know, Jim Jar, the time to speak up about something like that is before we do it, not afterwards. So,
He's not gonna think for you.
okay.
he speaks about both, right? Both,
Well, yeah,
block-
like these are purposeful collapses, right? I've described them initially when you guys got to Blingdenstone. These are purposeful barricades made by the gnomes to keep things out. If you want to clear the way, that's all fair and fine, and if you clear whatever's beyond them, that will resolve that problem. But it does leave an opening.
Yeah.
The gnomes are spread thin as is between miners, guards, stuff. There's only 300 of them. They can't be all everywhere at once. Just so
I
you're
told
aware.
you before he did. It's making an opening. There's no guards down here. There's nothing. Some creeps around from behind. That's it.
All right, then we clear it out. I mean, we're here already. We're looking to make a good impression on the city. We might as well do it while we're here.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that eludes me is the Medusa. I thought we were gonna pass near her.
I was mentally preparing for her the entire time. I mean, I was shining up my mirror shield and, you know, going through scenarios in my head, but no Medusa.
Well, plans change. Maybe we missed a turn.
Yeah.
It's about adapting and overcoming. Right now, a giant gaping hole into the city, and we are all that stands between it and destruction.
All right. Well,
Maybe she's sleeping somewhere.
What?
Yeah, she's taking a nap.
Right now, we're gonna investigate the south. Maybe Glabs, you could blockade this entrance. Devour anything that comes, you know. Except
There's
Thorn.
Super Saiyan Glob.
Except Thorn. Okay?
Yeah, do.
Okay.
I'll take a little bit of time and use mold earth to try to mitigate the situation a little bit. It's just loose earth and rubble that can be moved, so I'm not going to be able to like put any boulders there, but like, you know, maybe it won't be so obvious.
Okay.
5 feet at a time is a lot too. So
Yeah, I bet it is. So an 80-foot gap, say, didn't clear the whole thing, just cleared enough for you guys to pass.
I was gonna.
Yeah. You can seal the way behind you with some dirt, sure.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
At least it won't be obvious that it's a breach point.
Yeah.
So Jeff is back. You guys take the left or right
Okay.
passage?
Yeah,
I'll
which
say
way?
right this side.
Right, it is then.
Yeah.
Okay.
How-
Ginger takes the
I
right
feel it.
passage.
Ginger.
Bye.
Oh, I'm
Good luck.
sorry, you don't know
No,
your
no.
lefts and rights. Okay, we'll take the left then.
I mean, maybe it's because you are down here, but it's different. Like,
No, this is definitely
I'm gonna-
left.
I'm gonna
I have-
gaslight this guy.
I'm having an outer body experience. I can see myself from a bird's eye view.
That's weird. Oh, this is pretty. Ooh, this is pretty. He whispers as once again he goes into a more stealthy mode as you're back in unknown territory outside the city. Covering your tracks and sealing your way behind, you enter what looks to be some sort of a crystal garden. Light from bioluminescent fungi refracts through these large crystal formations that erupt from the floor, creating a almost kaleidoscopic effect of colors on the surrounding walls. The crystals are semi-transparent, slightly distorting images seen through them as you pass by. You see your own reflection sort of distorting, bending like hall of mirrors. You note a humanoid statue of a gnome posed like he cowers near a crystal outgrowth. Seems to be holding a broken crystal in its hand.
Is it that the statue, or is it that one of the unfortunate Medusa's victims?
I'm gonna go with the second option.
Well, it's not a myth. Everyone, keep your eyes to the ground.
Well, hold on. Let me try something. Little gnome fellow, are you in there?
I'm right up here. What are you
No,
talking about?
no, you don't hear anything. I'm just trying to telepathically speak with the statue.
Does telepathy work on petrified creatures?
It doesn't say specifically that it does, but if he's if they're not like unconscious in there, then I guess it would. If petrified makes it so that you're no longer conscious, then I guess that's a DM question, you know?
Sure is. You hear a voice back.
Thought of that.
Get me out of here!
We'll do our best, little buddy. And I'll tell the rest of the group. Yeah, that's a gnome. He's a victim. I'm gonna telepathically ask him. Is there anything that you can tell us about this Medusa? We intend to kill her, and then come back and help you.
I was exploring around. I heard a hissing first. I thought that'd be clever. I held up this crystal to my eyes, thought the distorted image would save me, but it was no good. Experiment failed, and now I'm here. And soon, you two shall suffer the same demise if you don't get me out of here. Or get yourselves far from this place. She resides
Like I said,
there. It's you sense a will to point out something, but he can't move.
can you just tell me which way she is in relativity to where we are here?
Seek out
Like
the
you
Drow
can't
noble's
point.
house. It's not far from here, in that direction. But again, it can't point, for it can't move.
Can you just explain which direction that direction is?
It's frozen in place. Trying to see it through its eyes.
Right, well, have it your way. If we die, then there will be no one coming back to save you, and you'll stay like this forever. So, good luck with that. All right, fellas. Here's our issue. This was a gnome. Is a gnome. He says that the Medusa is in that direction. And
Which direction is that?
yeah, exactly. So he was trying to look through this crystal to obscure the vision of the Medusa. Obviously, that failed. So, you know.
So we should be at least able to figure out where the Medusa was when he was looking at her.
Oh, get this too. This is the best part. Then he cryptically says some riddle shit about some drow noble house or something like that. Seek that out. I mean, come on. It's almost like he wants to stay a statue.
It's like the
He looks like he's facing east.
Drow noble house. Have Drow ever lived here before, Jimjar?
Jim Jar, for I think the 5th time, but I guess some of us are not paying attention, recalls the great battle that has taken place here between the Drow forces and the gnomes, time again. So it might be a remnant of their incursion onto Blingdenstone. Drow, the Underdark is their domain. They have known to travel through it. A noble house, however, establishing itself this close sounds bizarre. As bizarre as it would sound to you. This close to Blingdenstone. And yet. Jimjar's history does not go far enough to know the exact details of anything beyond the war between his people and the Drow. You're walking a battlefield where thousands have died. Some remain.
We press on then.
Grab some of the crystals. Maybe the gnome was into something. We
Do
never
you?
know if we're getting a pitch. Yeah, I'll grab
It
some
seems
crystals.
like it seems like grabbing the crystals is what brought her to him. I don't know.
No, I don't
Maybe
know
she
about
God's
that. I think
place.
he was trying to look through the crystal at her, hoping that would, save him from the Medusa's gaze. But in his words, the experiment failed.
Maybe she's got a stake in this property or something. I don't know.
Well,
What does the Medusa want? What motivates them?
and if you think grabbing a crystal will bring it, even more reason to do it. We can set a point and let Blood Eric do its thing.
Then get me out of this hallway. I don't want to be caught in it.
Perhaps Medusa's petrification is dependent on her ability to see you, not you seeing her. That's why the crystal didn't work.
He gave it a shot.
So, can Gizmo roll nature or arcana or something to
Oh, you know what?
recall what
Oh,
he
dear.
can see, what he knows about Medusas?
Sure, it's gonna be a very high CR, them being creatures of mythos, and you have never encountered one to confirm your facts. But from what you've read, let's see what Candlekeep can tell you.
Arcana
Yeah, sure.
or nature?
Arcana, most likely. This is a monstrosity after all. 19 is a pretty high roll.
19.
Creatures born of a curse or a ritual, dark as it may be, gone awry. These gorgons, as they're known, are often associated with gods of poison, medicine, beauty, acting as servants or guardians to temples of such gods. They have known to research and become hierophants of secrets of life, health, immortality, and seekers of wisdom. Their lairs are often sought by adventurers because of the wisdom that such lairs might hold, be they spell-like or research-like in nature. From what you recall about the monster itself, those who approach a Medusa with humility and a worthy offering might receive the creature's favor. And the Medusa might even propose some sort of a dangerous task or quest of such adventurers to fetch some rare ingredient or legendary relic, promising reward for success. There are some legends out there in Candlekeep, speaking of heroes who sought cures for plagues, alchemical breakthroughs, secrets of the cosmos by conversing to Medusas. But it all comes down to the nature of the person or their origin. There is another side of this coin. There are those who were cursed, maddened by the cursed, and have been made nothing but a monster. Recalling their physiology, serpentine bodies in place of legs, snake hair, and a petrifying gaze. They're capable of constricting their victims and are often either very knowledgeable in terms of spell work or military prowess. Whatever it may be, to have the immortality to spend to being never-aging creatures that have the immortality spent to train themselves in martial or magical arts. Is what you can recall for 19.
Okay. And I will impart as much of that as I can to my companions, emphasizing that we really don't know what side of the coin this Medusa is on, but the people of Blingdenstone seem to think that she's the nasty kind, and disappearing miners and such might support that versus some benevolent creature looking for wisdom.
What do they eat?
Maybe crystals, who knows?
I'm just saying, I mean, if they're alone down here, like,
No, you have a point. They turn creatures into stone. They may be an elemental, for what I know.
I feel like
Maybe-
Blingdenstone might have more to offer than what she might have. Looking for wisdom or such.
I mean, if we want to try diplomacy, we can give it a shot. But
I'm not
my
I'm
open
not advocating that. I'm not advocating diplomacy here. I think stealth and quick, decisive action might be the more prudent, the prudent way to go.
Well,
I
yeah,
don't-
like I guess we draw the line somewhere at some point. But
Gizmo is going to mount up on Clank's back, because he can, because he feels that much higher off the ground and protected by having Clank's body in front of him.
Well,
Okay.
while you're discussing that stuff, you should come take a look at this up here. And then looking to see what this is exactly.
I'll follow what I'll be working with the crystals like through one of my eyes because I want to see if the experiments can be a success.
Then you have to stop yourself from tripping on some rubble or rock on the ground, as looking through the crystal distorts your vision. You have this advantage from perception checks as you look through it, but you find your way back to the party and up this set of stairs. Up there, if you wish to proceed, you see a steadfast rock of some sort perched atop a circular dais, if you will. It is surrounded by all sorts of flora and living fungi along the walls, casting a bioluminescent glow throughout. But the stone seems to be the center of attention, captivating this room. If you're curious about what this map looks like without me loading you into the actual map, I will give you a gander in just one moment. The room looks like this.
Oh,
Do you wish to enter it fully and invest into this encounter?
yeah, fuck it. I brought everyone up here.
Yes.
Sure, it's pretty.
Very
Nothing bad
shiny
happening.
rocks.
Yeah, maybe Xorn is here eating.
You're approaching from the southwestern staircase, and that will put us, south. Gizmo, Isabel, Eric, Badgerak at the front, with your companion, Dimjar, trailing behind, stealthing his way, Clank, Atlas, Songbird. How's vision?
Good.
The area is brightly lit by the bioluminescent fungi I've mentioned growing along the walls and the ceiling here. As you guys find yourself in, this would be the Steadfast stone. Smooth stone beneath your feet. Rough walls. A great menhir carved from a stalagmite stands in the center of the chamber, pockmarked with dozens of empty sockets that might have once held gems.
Yes.
Oh, is this the place?
I believe it is. It sounds like the description.
Oh, he said once we pop this thing, we're gonna be in for a fight. Like a dinner bell.
Is there anything we should do to prepare before? Anything we can do?
Sharp
Okay.
your weapons.
Barricading some of the entrances, perhaps, or perhaps preparing a surprise for any creatures that charge in from one direction.
I mean, I don't wanna ruin your plans of barricading, but elementals have a way of ignoring stone. You know, like they may even come from under our feet. So,
Stoned elementals from the ground, air, literally just popping up right in front of you.
yeah.
I don't know about the rest, but I think
do
we're
we
just gonna
know
have to
that-
make do.
Do we know that all of the creatures we're anticipating are going to be elemental in nature? Perhaps the Medusa is part of this as well.
Maybe.
Well,
Hard to
we'll
say.
find it soon, really. But if you wanna do a barricade, go ahead,
Mhm.
Gizmo. I just don't know
Maybe
what we
there's
can
other
use.
things that we could do other than just a barricade. I remember the legend of a child that was abandoned by his family. Ibn McAllister.
I have to ask, was that your name, self?
No, I don't think so. This is a very famous legend. One child, standing alone, with enough preparation time, was able to fend off hordes. I don't know if we have the ability to. I don't have any ideas, but I don't know what
Hordes
you're
of
capable
bandits.
Well,
I don't know. We have two artificers. I thought that they might be able to come up with something.
I'm thinking, don't pressure me.
It's kind of your whole deal.
Pressure's on, love. It's
Mm.
this or death.
Okay, let me check inventory.
I think we'll work best if we put all of our focus onto one of these things. Focus them down. Rather than spreading ourselves out too thin. We gang up on them. We stand a better chance. Cover each other's backs. But the sooner we do this and cleanse it, then, yeah. Like it done.
As creatures rush into the room, I could use fairy fire to help us cover some of the first ones. And then I guess we could take it from there.
Well, don't know what's come, so
Think about-
Yeah.
sounds like a plan. As we
Someone
said.
had. Oh wait, don't we have a horn of blasting as well? Isn't that particularly useful against creatures made of combustible stone or ice or what have you?
Maybe.
Yes, we do.
I'm not
Made of
sure.
crystals.
Ah. So we should perhaps just, I don't know, ready such weapons?
Keep it at hand.
You also got the war horn too.
Yes.
Which can prevent us from being frightened and break us out of that if that were an issue. I could pull that out and yes.
Well, it also has you use that weapon and you hit with it, it's a critical hit, and the weapon ignores resistance to bludgeoning too, if it's against Earth maybe.
It's against objects, I think, but
Against objects, it's a crit. So if we needed to smash a door down, something, maybe.
Okay.
Looking at the stone that's in the center, and using like any masonry kits that I have or anything, like does this stone, is it different from the stuff that's on the wall? Like does this tend to have more like meaning to it or anything else like carved into it?
You chip a
Like
little bit
the-
off,
The larger.
inspect its properties. It's obsidian. Pure volcanic rock.
I wish I knew more about rock.
Shh.
No. Obsidian.
Do you know what obsidian is? Do you, Nick, know what obsidian is?
I know what it is, but I just don't know like
Cooled
what it's
magma.
used for. Like
Cooled
meaning.
magma
Yeah.
can be chipped away, sharpened, wickedly sharp into like spearheads or arrowheads. It's been used by Native Americans and other tribal people of the past for ages. It's a little bit brittle, meaning that it's easy to shape, but it maintains an edge like a motherfucker. So like climbing this cliff would probably earn you a few cuts. Other than that, it looks to be plugging what looks to be like almost like an eruption point here, capping it off. The walls are equally roughly hewn, while the stone beneath your feet is smooth, almost perfectly flat. Unnaturally so, maybe by magical means. Made of simple bedrock. Some soil along the corners of the cavern give space for crystal and this bioluminescent flora to grow and give life to all sorts of other fauna. You see a few of those fire beetles fluttering about and whatnot. This is a place of life.
don't
Seems
seem
like-
smooth. Too smooth. And I'm going to
Floor.
use mold earth and see if I can make it not smooth. I'm going to try to change the texture of it.
The spell, you ask it and it giveth. You mold the earth beneath your feet.
Okay, well now I'm not going to slip, so I feel better.
But if you if you have that one at hand, just do not get overwhelmed. But I think that's all we can do. And I bring out the gem and get ready to put it on the socket. Or socket.
I'm gonna take one chunk lava rock.
Sounds good. Fist-sized
I don't know.
chunk of obsidian in your hand as you take a little piece of the holy temple rock. Meanwhile, Isabel, you try and find a slot that fits the elemental gem in your hand, and as you do, it fits perfectly into the socket. As the ruby begins to sort of glow against the men here, the walls begin to rumble. Part of one wall shifts, detaches, and several creatures sort of break out of rock and swarm forth. Where you stand, can I get everybody to... Is Jimjar climbing the rock?
Ginger is running for his life, okay? He's not fighting this.
Why is Jimjar over here?
I move him.
Is he climbing the rock?
Yeah, let's make him climb.
Okay,
Like
so you
he's
go ahead and
pretty-
roll me an athletics
boy.
check for Jimjar, please, while everybody else roll me initiative. And please voice what you're doing, don't just move your tokens around, because...
Sorry, man.
Yeah, alright.
Ginger 15 at least.
Ginger may can just make it all the way to the top, only cutting himself for 1d6 damage.
Okay.
5 lacerations. Alrighty then, and then we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 token layer. There we go.
Target.
A muddy, minute form, humanoid but winged and wicked, lurches forward at you, like right in your face there, right below the gem where they just suck at there, Isabel. We have them rolling for initiative. I'll go ahead and make little tokens for them for initiative like this. Put these aside. Put these somewhere, like up here, so they're aside. The ruby glows as you seem to have activated something. 5 dust methods and 5 mud methods, these awful creatures of the element, burst forth. Who do we have on top of initiative then? Sorting. Slow to react, still awakening. Isabel, you're on top of initiative.
As I'm being surprised, I jump back, and as I jump back, I put my hand forward and touch his arm as I cast Choking Grasp. 24 to hit, 12 lightning damage.
Sucking your head in the muddy surface of the creature, it hits for that damage.
Yes. Bonus action. My friendly bird is gonna run away, and as it's running away, he does the same. He picks on the head of the creature and tries to choke him with 15 to hit, 5 force damage.
The form ripples as you hit with the bolt hits the center mass and just whipples out like ooze, reforming the gap that you just punched through this creature as it begins to sort of cackle and flutter forth towards you, unable to react as you flee away from it. Do you disengage?
Yes, I disengage.
Giving Ginger
Oh,
the initiative.
disengage, no. Yeah. Can Ginger skip the combat? Really?
Sure.
Yeah.
Eric.
You don't want him fighting?
No, I want him alive for the rest of the adventure, if possible.
Then you might want him to hide. Or use one of his stone, blend into the stone kind of abilities.
If he can be like on the background, it will
Yeah.
be good.
Him being a rogue, he can easily like stealth roll himself. He's a rogue, he can bonus action, disengage and dash and get himself out of combat easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
No problem.
Eric.
Eric will move up to this one right here. Is it within striking range? If I stand right here, or is it high up?
If you stand within 5 feet of token self, it's on the floor level.
Okay. Move up to it and attack it with Dawnbreaker. Ooh. Alright, that's a miss, but it does still graze for 5 radiant damage.
What did you roll to hit?
And then I rolled a natural 1.
Thanks.
Does a 15 hit?
15 hits.
That should be 15 damage, actually.
As your sword magically lacerates through the dusty form of the mephit, most of it just turns to a dust cloud and dissipates away. A very small shimmering of it remains, and concentrating all that sand and dust onto like 2 wicked-looking claws.
That is the end of my turn.
Giving Gizmo the initiative.
Gizmo will fire his crossbow at the wounded mud method that Isabel was engaged with. Gonna fire once and hope that that's enough.
Your arrow sails
no,
straight
I
through
guess
its
that's
form,
not.
hitting nothing vital as it just gets covered in muck and rebounds off the stone surface behind it.
Then we'll take the second shot.
13 hits.
13.
It wears no armor. It is
And
purely made of mud. As you find something vital, hit it in the head for how much damage? 11?
11.
Sending it back to its material plane of Earth.
Right. And as my bonus action, I will tell Clank to get up there and assist Eric. And he's going to move ahead to within attacking range of that method, and he will take his force-empowered rend shot. That's a 24 to hit.
Striking true. As you strike the
For
two methods,
5 force
the
damage.
destroying it, you see it begin to sort of manifest to a small little whirlwind storm and explode out in a burst. Can I get both Eric and Clank to make me a DC 10 Constitution saving throw, please? As it death bursts outwards in a burst of dust. Those of you succeeded on the save, avoid being blinded, as it is too destroyed. The other method explodes in a explosion of muck and rock. The remainder of the mud methods charge forth, fluttering with their wings, slowly. Unluckily, I'm just looking up speeds and anything. 5 feet. Alright. One of them is going to go ahead and flutter toward Gizmo over yonder and belch out this muddy breath at Gizmo. It's going to be a DC 11 dexterity saving throw against avoiding being restrained by this muck and mud it's throwing up upon you.
And you said dexterity?
Yes.
Oh, look at that. Jump out of the way. I do not want to be made muddy.
Fair enough. The rest of them flutter forth, dashing forth toward the group. The last ones over yonder, these two, are above the rock, about 15 feet off the ground. This one and this one. Giving Bajarak the initiative. This one is ground level Bajarak.
Okay. Is this whole area considered darkness or dim light at least, or no?
Oh my god. Let me check. So you can see it on the map. You see where the map is slightly darker?
Yeah, I was just
that's
checking, just to be
that's
sure.
shadow.
Okay.
Which is
Everything
weird
else
because
has, like, a
Eric's
little, like, light
sword
to
is
it.
up, no?
Yep.
Let me fix it then. While you're within Eric, of course, it doesn't work, but you know.
Right.
Would he
I'm
have
just
not been there, you would have been
making sure map-wise.
in the shadow of the Mayhere. So anyway, Eric is casting light now, and you can see how much he's shedding, putting a large shadow behind
Yep.
rock.
Then I'm going to take out my pistol and I'll shoot this one first. And then this will just be just a revolver shot, normal. Lame. Or miss. Completely wide. And a 13.
13 strikes.
Hitting for 10 piercing on this little guy right here. And then after that, oof, I don't have much of bonus actions, but I'm going to move back 20, 45. Let me place my finger there on my screen. 45. And that'll be my turn.
All right, giving self the initiative.
Okay. Looking at this situation, Self was completely expecting them to come out from the walls, not from behind him. So he's gonna just run back over here, 30 feet, and then he's gonna hex this one for pure strength, and probably end up right here, trying to get a little bit closer to Isabel, and then shoot this one twice. First one is 11. Second one is 26.
Both strike.
Both do. Okay, so that will be a total of 8, 13, 23. And I'll knock it back. If possible, if I could finesse it, I'd like to leave it right next to Eric.
Sure. You can pick and choose how far a creature can be bounced back by your Eldritch Blast.
Okay, and that'll be my turn.
Okay. The Dust Methods coalesce as a group and charge forth like a sandstorm. One. 2. Let me check their speeds real quick. They might be faster than mon methods because they're dust. Yeah, good thing I checked. So that's Clash. That's an extra 10 feet, making it all the way over here. An extra 10 feet, making it all the way over here. And flying above the rock, 60. Here. Isabel, top of the round. Let me just check something real quick. Sorry, Ivan. I'm just making sure because of two different creatures. Yep. Okay, cool. So, dash. Oh, I took dash action off for all of them, though. That sucks. I'm going to say one of them is going to go ahead and fly. Just so I'm doing something on this combat. One of them is going to fly to the very top of this rock here and stand. Seems to be commanding the lot of them, the gang. And it's going to cast Sleep, extending out this sand storm in front of it that sparkles in the air a little bit. It affects creatures in an area within 20 feet of a point it chooses, with a health threshold of 5d8. It does not know how hard you guys are. It is just going to choose the closest creatures to it, making this spell useless. Okay, well, at least it did something. Isabel, go ahead.
Okay, with the guy in front of me, I grab my baton. I just smack him with him, he starts choking him. 21 to hit, 18 lightning damage.
18 strikes and kills in one. As a death bursts out, I'm gonna have to have you make me a saving throw against its death burst of DC 10 Constitution saving throw. I'm gonna have him stop whispering because that's gonna aid in 16 saves. Giving Eric the initiative unless you have anything else.
I'll take a step back. Somewhere will shoot at this guy. Just because damage is damage. 18 to hit, 5 force to the closer. And keep flying far and far. 40 feet into the air. Or it will be 30 in this case.
Putting the action
Eric
onto
falls up on Eric falls up on self's assist, seeing him push this creature towards him. Eric will spin, does a 360, and brings Dawnbringer and slashes with Dawnbringer just as it gets right in front of him with an 18 to hit.
Strikes and kills. It is going to be a DC 11 dexterity saving throw as it explodes out in a muddy explosion. Sticky mud covering your body, you might succeed dodging all this.
Nope.
Nope. It's a restrainment on
Rolled
failure.
an 11.
What did you roll?
Unfortunate. 8.
8.
You guys can't see my rolls?
No, we can see him.
Maybe something on my end then. Alrighty then. So Eric is restrained in mud as he destroys this creature over yonder. Anything on remaining on Eric's turn before we give Mr. Gadgetoni his?
Is the mud like solidifying to restrain me? Could I
it's sticky.
use Giant Smite to break out of it?
You can repeat the save if you wish. If Star Giant Smite will help you with the dexterity saving throw, then yeah.
It wouldn't. I was wondering if like the mud was solidifying, and if me growing bigger would like break it.
No.
Okay, that's the end of my turn.
Cool. Gadgetoni.
Gadgetoni is going to wheel about and take aim at the dust method next to self, trying to return the favor. And first shot would be for 6 damage.
Begin to collapse and decimate away. One arm falls entirely off as it begins to flicker and shimmer in place, ready for a death burst.
Then I will take the second shot and cause that death burst.
So it's gonna be a DC 10 Constitution saving throw from self as it is destroyed. More rumbles follow from the rock as something begins to crack itself out of its place in the wall. Large, huge humanoid shape from like the northern side of the wall.
And with my bonus action, I will have Clank use his force and power to rend to swing at the dust method closest to him. 12 is a miss, right?
12 is not a miss.
Oh, 12 is hit? Okay.
The thing is, the
For
dust
9.
method closest to him is dead, I believe. This one over here is dead. I can go ahead and delete dead ones off the map so it causes less confusion.
That's okay. It looked like the X was underneath it. That's what confused me. Sorry. So, this one is up on the rocks.
Yes, flying
Yeah,
maybe
that
like
one is
50
dead.
feet off the ground, yeah.
But this dust method is at ground level.
Correct.
Then that is where Mike will go, and he will take his swing there. Do you want me to re-roll that?
No, I'll take the roll. What was it? 12? Hits.
It was a 12 to hit and 9 force damage.
Assisting in wounding these creatures. They don't seem to be putting much of a fight, but the death bursts are something of a fireworks show. As you continue to hear the thudding as something slams its fist against the rock to the north. A second figure, also huge in size, begins to slam its fist to the south of the rock, sort of pushing itself out with a sludgy, ooze-like bubbling noise from the south. Something else is coming. That'll be it for Gizmo's turn then?
Yeah, Gizmo is going to move in this direction so that he can see if he gets some idea of what's coming from around the wall here, but he doesn't see anything yet.
You see a gaunt... Oh, I just didn't put it on the map yet. You see a gaunt, giant figure sort of begin to push itself out of the rock. It is maybe 50 feet standing tall, with dust and floating stones sort of levitating off its body. And it has a very hollow gaze to it, as if it's peering beyond you and moving with a purpose, like a puppet on a string almost.
I'm hoping this one is going to be fighting on our side, but I wouldn't bet on it.
All the while,
That's my turn.
Clank gets swarmed by mud methods from all sides as they attempt to restrain him in place once. So it's going to be a DC 11 dexterity saving throw from Clank as they just sort of roll their fists against its body, bludgeoning him for 7 damage in total.
Oh.
And he is
What was
restrained in
the,
place.
He's restrained. Okay.
Whoa, it's not 4, I'll tell you that much. It was DC, sorry. Wrong one. DC 11.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. That is that for the Mud Mephis as Bajarak's turn comes about.
I'm going to. Oh, yikes. That might just be kind of a bad time. 20. 20. Okay. Putting the holes, holstering the pistol, and then I'm going to keep my distance still. And unfortunately, if this strikes, then it would kind of be shitty though. But I'm gonna throw 2 darts. Excuse me. At the closest one here. And with 2 dart attacks. Yep, everything's good. An 18
Strikes.
for 4 piercing, and a 23 for 9.
Okay. You don't death burst the creature, but you do wound it to the point where it becomes even more sluggish than normal.
Okay.
The 2 darts just throw into its body.
I'm actually going to take 5, 10, 15 back. I'm going to use a bonus action to reload my pistol and have a full chamber.
As you click your pistol into, I don't do guns, and you can tell. As you load your pistol and you click it and you do whatever you need to load it, you spot a sluggish, bloated figure, humanoid in shape but huge in size, almost like a lumbering hill giant, but covered in sticks and mud, sort of ooze itself in between the cracks of the rock to the south of the standing May here, and manifests over yonder. As we give Self the turn.
Oh, well. Well, shit, what the fuck is that? Well, I don't like that at all. I'm gonna move my hex over there, hex strength, and then have at thee. 25 and 18.
At the muddy creature lumbering out of the wall?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that thing.
Striking against his armor class of pretty fucking low. Both strike.
Alright, so that will be... Oh, sorry, I didn't scroll down. So
Just give me total damage.
I guess the first 2. So 6, 8, 21, 31 points of damage. And I'll knock it back 20 feet.
As you completely dislodge it out of the wall, where it lands, the very smooth ground beneath its feet becomes like this muddy swamp consistency as it begins to sink into it and become amalgamated one with it. And then turns its angry gaze at you. Anything else on your turn?
Okay, and then I'm gonna move back behind Isabel then if that thing glares at me.
Fair enough. Giving the last of the Dust Memphis their turn. Tom learned that sleep is useless at this level, so he's not going to recast sleep. They surge forth to gang up on Clank. And flash up with their claws against Clank. It's going to be 18 to strike against Clank's armor, which I believe pierces through for 4 slashing damage.
Yes.
Alrighty then.
Actually, when I'm restrained, aren't his attacks at advantage?
Sure are. $16
Was also a hit.
for 5 slashing damage additional as they begin to tear away at its form. The dust-looking giant form begins to, as it pushes itself out of the wall. It doesn't land onto the ground with a giant thud, but rather begins to sort of hover in the air, levitating as the stones around begin to sort of revolve around its form and begins to hover closer. Eyes empty. There's nothing there. Nothing seeing. No soul. Nothing. Just this puppet moving forth. Just reading a stat block real quick. And slowly it begins to like sort of disassemble and crumble. First limbs, then the limbs become fingers, and the fingers become little fragmentations. Those fragmentations dissolve into a dust cloud as it assumes this like airy form. And all the while, the stone face remains solid at its epicenter, staring, mouth agape with this ever increasing in volume gasp, like sort of approaching Tiny Gizmo. It's gonna go ahead and do that, and take the dash action to absolutely engulf Gizmo in its space, like so. It becomes hard to breathe as you're engulfed in this blinding dust within. If you don't escape it, you start beginning like getting bludgeoned by it from all sides by the tiny pebbles and rocks that begin to surround you and tighten space around you. But while that's all happening, Isabel has initiative.
Okay. I'm gonna shoot one of these guys, the one on the bottom. 26 to hit, 12 fire damage, and again my Homunculus Servant will strike on it, 6 force damage, so total 18 damage. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll push yourself, like you deal with your own thing. Seeing as Gizmo is engulfed. Gizmo, get out of there. That's it for me.
Giving air initiative.
Yeah. I will put the Mitrala out or to try something.
Eric's still stuck in the mud. Looks at the giant thing that just dispersed and is engulfing Gizmo. And he looks at Clank, surrounded by all the methods and everything, and he silently apologizes to Clank, and then double checks that Gizmo is still like can't see him, and he blows the horn of blasting in his direction.
Fuck yeah, brother.
It's
Send it.
What is the DC for that? They have to make, I think it was a Constitution saving throw.
15.
Constitution
DC
saving throw.
Constitution saving throw.
At the methods, is that where that is going? And Clank?
Yeah, Clank.
Yeah, it's a 30-foot clump. It's a 30-foot con, so yeah. Or 19 damage, or half for 9 if they pass.
Yeah, Lorian, you have to roll a D20, a D100.
Wait,
I'm just
say if it's
waiting for them to finish rolling before I roll blanks. I just want to.
They finished. I'm just waiting for the damage.
I rolled the damage. That was a 19. That was 5d6.
19? Okay, so the first of the dust methods, death bursts. I'm just doing it from order of like closest to furthest from Eric. The first death burst subjects all the methods and Clank to, well, not all the methods, but all the methods close to it, and Clank to a DC 10 Constitution saving throw against the effect of being blinded. But it's just against Clank. I won't bother to roll for the rest of them because the rest of them are pretty sure gonna get
All right, so I passed my save first, so let me take the
Oh, it's only
9 damage.
it's only
right?
9 damage if they pass. Yep.
Okay, so there's I'm at 9, and I'm taking a DC. You said it's a Dex save.
It's 2 Constitution saving throws, DC 10, against the effect of 2
Oh.
dust method death bursts, as 2 of them die.
Sorry.
That's right.
So it's con save 15.
Mm-hmm. And then moving on
and
to
8,
handling
I
the
missed
mod
the second
methods.
one.
The first one, what was it? First one rolled 19, saving, taking 9 damage. Do they get blasted back? I think we're established that they don't.
I don't think they get blasted back even if they fail. It's just damage.
Fair enough. And then the
they're
third
deafened for 1 minute if they fail to save.
All right then.
But there's
And
no movement.
The
no.
two mod methods, all 2 Clanks left and aft, also burst. It's gonna be 2 of those death bursts. DC 11 dexterity saving throw from Clank against the effect of being restrained, but he's already restrained, so we can just skip that. Sorry, I'm just handling this like a computer just running down this
That's okay.
big ol' action here. And then this one close to Derek manages to actually save, so but nonetheless getting injured in the process and deafened.
And then D100, 20 or lower, the horn explode. Okay, we're good. And that is my turn. I am no longer restrained.
Gizmo. As you start your turn within the Dusk Hulk's stinging presence, maybe a Constitution saving throw, please, against the effects of this dust cloud you find yourself in.
And this is not considered magic. It's just
I'm gonna say it's considered magic.
then this will roll at advantage then.
I would imagine a curse has to be magic. Magic to save against it, you
20.
hold your breath and struggle against the choking winds, taking a measly, with advantage, right? Yeah, measly 5 bludgeoning damage from just shrapnel flying around. Measly damage, but you avoid being blinded and choked as you get your full turn.
Well, that's good. 5 damage, and yeah, I think I'm going to move out of this.
Mm-hmm.
It's Gizmo.
I'm going to move in this direction. And then I did not like that at all. That was very unpleasant. I am going to use the bonus action then to... I'm going to use the bonus action to command Clank to use his repair. And I'll just take 2 shots on the big dusty fiend with my crossbow.
Cackling madly and trying to be a little shit about it, the mud method tries to get between Clank's gears and just slams muddy fists into his gear work, just making the repair just a little bit harder for him, but all the while not dealing much damage. All the while, the Mud Hulk to the south of the rock begins to lumber toward the group as Bajarak takes his turn. I believe my Mud Hulk does not have any range. Oh, I do. Oh, that's nice. It's gonna go ahead and pick up a large chunk of the obsidian wall beside it as it lumbers toward the group. And like with surprising speed, just charges forth and just chucks a large mud-covered chunk of obsidian like a projectile toward Bajarak as you're just about to take your turn. Bajarak, go ahead and make me a dexterity saving throw, please, against this mud chuck as it lobs massive mud towards you, failing the saving throw. Taking a total of 10 bludgeoning damage on a failed saving throw. as it splutters around you. The area around you, like 15 feet around you, becomes difficult terrain.
Okie dokie.
So I'm gonna go ahead and mark it on the map real quick. Like a little circle around you. Thanks. Thanks. Can you hold out? Straight down, please. Thank you. Perfect.
Does Clank get to repeat his saving throw to be unrestrained, or does that
At the end of your
action?
turn, yeah, go ahead. Of Clank's
Oh,
turn.
that was a
you-
repeated save? It didn't just end at my next turn.
Against the
I
effect of a
think
mud
it's
method's
con.
mud breath. The creature can spend a repeated saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success.
Oh, mud breath is different from the thing that exploded on me. Okay.
So Clank is no longer restrained then.
Cool, cool. Alright, cool. Giving Badge Direct a turn.
Okay, 1 second. I am going to do. We spend 1 focus point. Okay. I'm going to move 40 feet in because I have the boots of striding.
Yep.
And difficult terrain does not affect me.
It doesn't know that.
Just going through it.
Just goes,
I'm gonna
"Oh,
go
damn
right
it."
up. Oh, damn it. Oh. And I'm gonna go in and I'm going to do 2 unarmed strikes against a big boy here. And on the first one, that is a miss. Boy howdy. And then the second one is a 15, and I'm also gonna key infuse that for a stunning strike.
Go ahead. Stunning Strike is Constitution
DC
saving throw?
16 con. Yeah, DC 16.
8.
I just go for like what would look like a vital spot for him. Like I know he's a lot taller and everything, but kind of like at the knee, ankle, or just some kind of like nerve. I'm going for. I go in for that on top of the 7 bludgeoning, and then
Just take out like a stony kneecap.
yeah, and then you know what? I'll just do 2 other unarmed strikes on him. Getting his vital spot, and he has the stun condition, so I think I have advantage on this.
Correct. I'm just checking the new stun condition from the PHP 2024. Just so there's no other surprises, like...
Until the start of its next turn, or start of my next turn.
Yeah.
His speed is also halved. Or no, excuse me, he has 0 speed. And all
Mhm.
that. And the next attack, yeah, it's just 1 attack roll.
Go for it.
With advantage. So 14.
Yep.
That'll hit for 9, and then the second one will be for a 21 for 7.
All applied. As you
And
keep
then I'm
on.
gonna move
Mhm.
5 feet back, and that's my turn.
While you are immune to the difficult terrain, you still notice that it is there. So that area marked with the second circle is also
Right.
difficult terrain around this creature, as we have Self take his turn.
All right. I'm gonna pull out the scourge and whisper into it. All right, Corzon, help me out here. I do not like this thing, and he's coming for me. I'm gonna cast Hexblade's Curse as my bonus action on this thing, the same one down there that is throwing mud all over the place, and 2 blasts going his way. Are these at advantage with the stun now, or
Yeah.
okay? Oh yeah. First one for 29. Second one for oh
2
yes.
Congratulations.
All right,
Jeez.
so that is going to be
Good one.
well.
The
Hold on,
howdy
I still
one.
need to roll well. Oh, what? Okay. All right, that's a little bit better.
How do you want to do this?
Jeez.
All right, so as I'm looking down and there's this gross mud all over my boots, I pull out the Scourge and whip it around my head a few times and just kind of like, spinning it around, 2 Eldritch Blasts pop off of this thing. As it's getting ready to spit something back out at me or Baz, the 2 bolts go into his mouth and back out the other side of the head, and he kind of like splashes back down into his own mud. All right,
Destroyed.
Corinson. You see? Eric, I know a guy.
There we go. That's teamwork there. Now on to the next.
The Dust Mephis are destroyed. The Dusk Hulk continues to surge forth like a sandstorm and begins to engulf itself in its space with its stinging dust. It's gonna be a DC 14 Constitution saving throw from you, Self. Taking half for merely 5 bludgeoning damage and avoiding being blinded altogether. So you're engulfed in this dust storm. We have Isabel's turn.
Okay. As I see that Self just vanish in front of me, don't worry, Self, I got you. Self, I don't know if you got damage, but I imagine you did. You get this amount as extra temporary.
11.
Yes. And I step back because I'm not suicidal. One to the left. And I aim at what I believe is one organ, maybe one of the eyes that are blinded, and shoot at it. Oh, not 20. No, not 20, not 1. Bonus actions and actions, and my tiny bird is gonna just run away from it because nope, that's it.
Eric.
Eric will make his way to the animated dust cloud. So he gets to here. Could he blow the horn in like this direction so that the cone would still hit it but not hit Self?
Yes.
He's gonna do that. DC 15 Constitution saving throw against. It fails. 22 thunder damage.
Some of the shrapnels come shooting back, gets lodged in a wall and plants the back of the wall here. And before the dust reforms around itself, takes damage. Any other effects other than damage?
It's deafened.
Mm-hmm.
That matters.
It's deafened.
And that is his turn.
Gizmo.
I will fire off 2 shots into the dusty creature.
Both find their mark as your magically infused projectiles pierce the dusty storm, and you see almost like a lightning strike begin to ripple out from each arrow tip as it dissipates into the storm, damaging the creature for a total of 14 damage.
14. And for my bonus action, I will have Clank swat at the remaining mud mephit that is right in his face. Hopefully he hits.
It's going to be a difficult shot, adding a little bit to its armor class, but nonetheless a 19 how much? 19 strikes. For how much damage?
Strikes for 10 force.
Okay. All the while it begins to dart around like a tiny little fairy devil of a thing, just smearing mud all over those precious gears. still around to be a little spiteful thing. It's gonna go ahead and hit Clank for 7 to hit. Just being spiteful. Bajarak.
Yep. Do. Man, I'm gonna come up and I'll just move 5 feet closer. And I'm just going to take, you know what, 5, 10, 15, it's 20. Yeah, I'll go here. And then I'm just gonna fire off, you know, I'll just throw 2 darts at him. At the big old guy. And that'll be normal.
The 2 darts enter the gravitational pull of the storm. One of them just gets like twirled around the storm and just goes flinging across the room. You see a little spark fly off from as it hits the metal hits stone, and another one just embeds itself in the floor altogether, not hitting the central
no
face.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just stay here. That's my turn.
No problem. Giving self the initiative.
I'm not grappled or restrained or anything like
No.
that, right? I'm just in the mist.
It's like
So,
being stuck in the middle of a sandstorm. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so I'm gonna, try to get around where I can get a little bit of vision on this thing.
You can still see the central like head of this statuesque giant, like forever like maw gape in that gasp. It seems to be like the center point of how to harm this creature.
Oh, well, in that case, I move my hex over and give him a smack with the flail. Booming blade. 19?
19 strikes.
That'll be 5 necrotic. Ooh, yeah, 14 slashing / poison. One of the d6s, I think, is the poison. I think the 5 is the poison, I believe. I don't know if that's going to matter. And then 5 thunder. So 24 damage, 5 is poison.
Is the 5 thunder if he moves though?
No, because this is because we're level 5, so it does 5 thunder automatically. It does another 2d8 if he moves.
Oh, I thought it always. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm gonna use booming blade a ton.
Nearly shattering the face apart. You can see where it does shatter, like the temple. The stone just sort of levitates there in place mid-explosion, like frozen time. It's sort of serenely beautiful, if not for the terrifying face of whoever gasping, stinging all the while, whispering of a coming terrible corruption to this place that will not relinquish its grasp. A stinging dust cloud does attempt to harm you self for additional damage if you fail that constitution saving throw. Go ahead and roll that bludgeoning damage for the stinging dust cloud. 5 on a success, 10 on a failure.
Okay, so I take 10.
And remember, you have temporary hit points too. So, with that being said, giving Isabel a turn.
Once more, I approach to self to give him some support. To those self, you see the shield for 12. And now that he's not there, I feel I can shoot more freely. And I just aim at it on the knee and 14 fire damage.
As you aim for that central, ever gasping breath and center mass, how do you want to do this?
Like I am looking at where he's in, like the emptiness, and he just go right through one of his eyes and he start consuming the rest of his body, illuminating it.
As it does so, the fire within explodes outwards, explosively setting shards as the creature is destroyed. As he explodes outwards, something drops from that central mass. Along the stone is a certain gemstone that drops on the ground as the dust begins to dissipate away. You see the mud mephit over yonder look about the the battlefield and begin to sort of manifest something from its own body, a similar looking gemstone, and then it just goes, ah, fuck it, and just drop it on the ground and begins to flee if you let it. But not before Eric gets his turn.
Eric will let the thing run away.
Okay, Gizmo?
Will not. Gizmo will move into a slightly better angle and take 2 shots at the mud method.
Surprisingly to no one,
He
both
doesn't wanna-
shots land, and you can describe how you get your vengeance.
Yeah, he does not want this thing escaping to bring any reinforcements on us. He's going to bring 1 pew, the second pew, each one blasting a little hole in the muddy form of the creature before it explodes into, I'm sure, another saving throw that Clank has to make.
It's restrainment. For flavor, I'm going to say it does cover
Okay.
him in a little bit of mud, but eventually he does get out of that stickiness, as unpleasant as it is, as all becomes quiet once more. The party find himself in the presence of that gemstone I've described before, in the remnants of that dust cloud hulking manifestation. Another one was dropped by the method of yonder bike link. They seem to be very similar to the one that used to cast this hollow spell. All the while, the same ruby that is socketed within the stone continues its humming glow. But now, as time goes to progress, you can see rune work, almost pathways, laced himself up the rock face toward the very top of the stone, begin to sort of connect with other rune networks into almost these like glowing magical ley lines that form a central web toward the central stone.
So, Isabel, do we need to put these crystals somewhere too? And Gizmo's going to pick this one up and kind of frantically look around. Do we need to put this in maybe one of those other spots?
Try to follow on what Gizmo is saying. Trying to.
He's holding the gemstone dropped by the method, similar to the one dropped by the dust hulk. And they look very similar in shape and magical property to the ones currently that you lodged into the stone face. From where you lodged it, there's like a network of these glowing lines, these magical ley lines that lead to the very top of the stone, tracing up toward it.
Okay, so I'll start following them to the top. See if there is a socket there. Should
Gizmo will
I?
do the same.
Yeah, try to climb the rocks.
Athletics, unless you have some climbing gear, but you're able to climb them, yeah.
Yeah, I grab the gloves of the drow or the climbing equipment of the drow and got on top of it.
So, like, sort of what I'm talking about is like these like glowing ley lines that go up the rock. They lead to similar looking sockets on top of each one of these rocks. That makes sense.
Go ahead and insert the rock.
As you follow through with this ritual, you can see you're inserting the rocks into the foreheads of these humanoid shapes, stout, almost like dwarf-like in height and body shape. And as you insert these gems into their foreheads, they begin to awaken one by one, taking these protective stances around the Mayheer in a ring formation. They themselves don't appear to be hostile, more protective of the central stone. As they animate and acknowledge you with these grave nods, settling down into their bolder guise around Mayheer and forever guarded, you sense you have re-hallowed this place as a sort of a holy aura begins to overtake it. Slowly traces of corruption throughout. Yeah, go for it.
Oh, we did it. Look. They won't be coming around no more. City will be a little bit safer. We got us some prestige.
I wonder if there were some poor maddened elementals who we freed in this process. Perhaps we will encounter them on our way back to the city.
I will ask the elementals what make this place get painted. Make it
Through their elemental
everyone
speech
embrace
to
Pokemon.
Yeah, through their elemental speech to tell you of this elemental evil that you've heard of before, this trace of what was a cataclysm years back that was seemingly resolved by other heroes other than you. Nonetheless, traces of this elemental evil, of this Ogremok, still linger, especially here in the Underdark, like a cloud of bad vibes. I don't know how else to explain it.
Okay. Alasa, is there any place that it's more concentrated, that presence?
It is a living thing that traverses the Underdark and these caverns. It is a living entity that moves. And leaves behind it these maddening traces whenever it touches them for a long time. This place has been abandoned ever since Blingdenstone's gnomes have left it. It left it for Ogremok's Bane to corrupt this place. But nonetheless, Ogremok's Bane is a physical manifestation.
Okay, physical one.
Yes.
Okay. I thought it was just like the name of the course, but fix it.
It is, and it's also a physical manifestation of a thing. What else can I tell you that these creatures might know? If you give me a second, I'll read and see if we're missing anything. But other than that, you seem to have completed the task given to you by... excuse me. Gurnik, the head druid.
Top finger.
That finger.
Isabel,
Yes.
ask them if they have a way of curing petrification.
Do you have any ways around here that could help us with that condition? There is a gnome casting stone right now.
The Galabdur are not capable of unpetrifying creatures. They're guardians, they have their stocky builds and strength, but they're not spellcasters in any form of way, other than being able to perhaps animate said gnome, but that would kill him in the process. They would literally break apart his form and make him into a little golem, which would destroy him. Not very helpful.
That won't be necessary, but
No.
thank you for the offer.
He can serve another purpose. But from what I can tell you, a little bit of lore, if you're curious about this. When the Drow attacked Blingdenstone, from what the stone can recall, Ogremok's Bane retreated to the far corners of the ruined city, right? Waiting for like the time to re-emerge and seek out earth elementals to corrupt. This malevolent entity didn't have to wait long, as the Drow sent teams of scavengers to loot the treasures of the deep gnomes left behind after the war, bringing their own elementals with them. And so, Ogremok's Bane hunted the Drow too, with the same relentless cruelty it did the Svirfneblins, turning their elemental servants against them, right? From what the stone can recall too, eventually the Drow armies departed the city. But when they did, some of them remained. A more prominent figure that they can recall is a Drow priestess of Lolth named Nehidra Duskrin that stayed behind. She was obsessed with collecting spell gems for their power and beauty, intent on making herself a regal, powerful master of her own underground realm. And she commanded a force of Drow servants and soldiers with unabashed cruelty toward nature and living things alike, relentlessly driving them to seek out spell gems and increase her own wealth and power. Overcome by her own greed and vanity, says the stone, Nahidra engaged in various dark rituals designed to secure her hold on power, imagining that Blingdenstone would one day become a drow enclave, with her as its immortal leader. Unfortunately, the magical pact she struck eventually transformed her into a monstrosity. And so, enraged by her fate, she turned her servants to stone and crystal, descended into a madness. And over these past decades, as Stone has witnessed, she has come to petrify any creature she has encountered, eventually catching the attention of Ogremoch's Bane. And now, this monstrosity works in concert with the fell entity, creating stone servants animated with its power. And since the return of the Deep Gnomes to Blingdenstone, the Deep Gnomes have studiously just avoided sections of the old city, sort of overwatched by both Ogremoch's Bane and Hydra since, right? So that sort of connects a few dots for you guys from what they've witnessed. Seems that Nahidra has had a hand corrupting this place as well. Just all the part of her ever-corrupting search for more power. Perhaps her existence was threatened by the stone protecting this place, so she meant to, disable the Guardians and allow Ogremoch to corrupt this place. It is unknown to them what her true drive is. They are only here to protect this place. But that's the long and short of it, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So this might explain the origin of the Medusa we are looking for.
And if she's working hand in hand with Ogremoch, we'll be up for one tough battle. That's gonna be a lot to take on.
I suspect that our efforts here will not go unnoticed by her.
Not after this.
We will need to be very attentive as we leave this place. I fear she will be lying in wait for us.
Hell, the gnome down at the end of the stairs says she'll be close by, it seems. And after this hollow place, she's got to sense it. She's got to know what's happening right now. Maybe she's just waiting for us to walk into one of her traps or something. I don't know. But I have a feeling things are about to get a lot more difficult. But this isn't start.
Gizmo is going to reach down nonchalantly and pick up 2 pieces of loose rock, assuming that there's something like that nearby.
Yep.
And use his gnome tinkering to put a very strong enchantment of light on them. Pull that feature up so I can put it in the feature magical tinkering.
Yeah.
He's gonna essentially put the enchantment that makes them shed very bright light on them when they're basically tapped or called on, and he's going to test each of them and put one in his pocket and hand the other one to Clank. If we come upon the Medusa, perhaps the bright light will help blind it. Just generally vaguely hoping for any advantage you can get. That's all. He's going to ready that stack that they got. If we get the opportunity, put the sack over her head. Prevent her from seeing us and us from seeing her.
You should have Clank catapult you onto her head. You're small. You'll fly through the air.
with the greatest of ease? I'm not so sure. But if it comes to that, I can ride Clank into battle as my steed.
Just realized something. We
Well,
can communicate with these things now. Like we don't need to speak the same language.
With the
With the
elementals.
stone, yeah, the elementals. Because part of Hallow is the tongue spell, so we can just communicate now.
Oh, I did not know that. I did not catch that.
But anyhow,
well, go figure. Drow poking the nose around, looking for more, trying to find all the power that they need. This is why they need to be taken down a peg or two, preferably to the bottom, forever, or not exist at all.
Well, whatever she was at the beginning of this, she is something more hideous now.
She's about to be dead meat. If we overcame this, we'll overcome what's next. Just got to be smart. But all right.
so where to now? I mean, is there anything else we need to do here? Should we ask Stone Boys? Do you have any gems you can give us? I mean, considering we just provided you with the service.
You don't.
All right then. Oh, on to the next task then.
Remember, if we encounter this monstrosity, avert your eyes. Look to the ground. Do not look her in the face if you can help it.
Well, start firing me pistol. Hate to clip one of y'all's. Rootin' tootin' shooting machine. But
Remember, she
yeah, we're
can't
gonna
look in
start
every
looking.
direction. She can't look in every direction at once.
Just have to surround her. Someone might be taken for the team. We'll come back. Won't petrify you, baby. But yeah.
Isabella's already kind of used to it. I'm just saying. All right. Well. Ready to head
Anything
out?
else? We have made the hollow ground. What our task
that-
is ahead.
I kind of want to get going. I'm not going to lie. Ever since that went off, I'm feeling really itchy.
We've been doing a lot today. What's the time of day? Because we had the whole Doretta thing. Went to the tavern, walked around, oozes.
Still the same day. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I was curious if I might be getting late or not. Isabel, what time is it?
Hold on. Let me check
How I'm gonna
the
know that?
Narbonell.
Yeah, check the
Yeah.
whoever's got the thing.
I've got the shot here. What time is it?
Yeah. Oh Lord, tell me the time.
It's been like
Is the
15,
shard?
15 hours since you guys set out on your journey to Blingdenstone, and it's still the same day. So you are like, I should be like making you guys roll for force much for like the past few hours now. I just didn't. But yeah, it's been like 15 hours since you woke up.
Well, what do you think? Should we go back in, get a room at the inn, or? I mean, I'm good to go. That short rest. And that fight was invigorating, other than the mud.
I mean, we could go back and take a nap if anyone needs, but kind of good.
Something
Or maybe we
tells
just
me
sleep here.
we can't leave this that entrance unguarded,
No.
right?
It is
We'd have to
guarded.
sleep
That's the
like
whole
down
point of the.
there.
So I have a feeling some of you guys are just not aware of what the hollow spell is. That's okay. Essentially, this place is gated from like aberrations, fiends, undead, wicked fae from entering this place. It's boarded off. They can't willingly enter this area.
Well, then this would be a good place for a long rest, perhaps.
Yes, but
Plus, when Isabel casts a spell, she made it so anybody can understand anybody, because tongues.
yes, you can hear the beautiful rock language.
Well,
But,
the thing is, we could go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, we cannot long rest. We open the gates for the Medusa to get in
Yeah.
the Blingdenstone, so we need to find her before we do that. How is everyone looking?
I'm tip top. Just I could keep going.
Yes.
Technically, the spell is going to take a full effect. No. Because you cast the spell over 24 hours into the spell gem and then it casts off immediately, kind of like a spell scroll, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, the effect is immediate because it was channeled into the spell. Yeah. That's cool. I was going to say it was going to take effect over 24 hours, but it was channeled by the priest into the spell gem. All good.
I mean, if we need to, we can take a load off here. Kind of amazing. I can finally understand Gizmo with his accents.
Yeah, but we got a giant.
I don't
Gotta-
know what you're talking about. I got no accent.
No, he speaks like perfect English to you now. No accent, no nothing. Regal. Yeah, the only problem is that there's a gaping hole that we came through, and it's unguarded.
Then perhaps if we've no pressing need for the rest yet, then
Well, hold
we
on,
should
hold
head
on.
back.
We did just help out these rock elemental fellows. Do you think that they could help close it off?
No, because we also need to travel back from it. And I think we can find the Medusa. We still have some time before we become totally exhausted. Bas looks pretty healthy. Eric looks like new, only dirty.
Okay.
Do you need a tissue, Eric? A towel?
Yes, please. You have one?
Yeah, but send him or give him one. Um, But I think we can push this a bit further. Try to find the Medusa before something bad happened to the city.
Okay. On the way back, we should talk to that gnome again, see if he knows a little bit more.
Yes, I will cast mending one more time on Plank because I can heal him a little bit before we leave since we have a minute.
That's good.
We are back.
On the way back out, I am going to start up another telepathic conversation with the gnome, but we can do that, on Discord in the RP if we want to move it along.
Your choice.
Osa, where are you?
Well, I'll just to preface what I'm doing. I'm going to go back up to the gnome and open up the communication again. It's like, I was once trapped for what could have been forever, and I had a friend help me out. I don't know if I'm going to be able to free you from this, but I know that he probably can. Let me know if you're interested.
Please, I think it's been ages.
Oh,
I can't feel my hands anymore. So hungry.
All right, let me introduce you to my friend Coranzon. And I guess, I mean, if you want to continue, but I kind of feel like this would just be like a one-person game if we want to do this for a while, and I don't want to monopolize if other people want to move it along.
Hmm.
But that's what I'm doing. Like, I'm gonna basically have like a little conversation with him and introduce him to my patron.
Looking forward to
Please
what
do.
you have to say, NRP.
Okay. I'm happy in here if you wanna do it. I don't know what the other guys.
I don't
just
care
wants
either
to
way.
collect. Gizmo just wants to collect some of these gems, if we can, before we leave. No need to leave behind what could be valuable resources.
Oh, yes, we all need to stay here for a little while so Gizmo can collect these. So, all right, friend. What is your name, little gnome?
That's a good question. I actually have an answer to. Because nobody but the answering Vort.
Vort. A friend helped me escape from the astral sea, escape from being turned into a mind flayer. His name is Corazon. He's very trustworthy. Me and him have gone far. Defeated many foes. He saved my life many times. Let me introduce you to him. And I guess whatever would be between those two would be between those two. I guess I'd, talk to him.
Okay. Do you guys want to watch the DM play with himself for a little bit, or do you guys want me to describe what the consequence of this will be?
I think, yeah, because at this point it's between an NPC and my patron, so I think that we should probably.
Because I don't know what you want from me. I can definitely blemish the scene, but it'll be 20 minutes of me playing with myself. What
Right,
your
exactly.
characters
It's gonna
see
be
is time passes. You guys can actually even short rest in that time if you so wish. Up to you guys. But time passes, and you don't detect a presence of mind. There's no telepathic connection to be established because it's kind of like you're reaching out or trying to, and there's just nothing answers back. Until like you begin to hear like the crackle of stone, and where the cracks manifest, it's a little like underglow, like as if the stone is red hot beneath, and a little bit of magma begins to like seep between the cracks, and you hear this awful like weak like voice rise up as the gnome begins to slowly move back in shape, and the stone begins to marble and crack off, and beneath it you see like flesh manifest, and limb by limb the stone just cracks off the gnome, and he depetrifies, and he's just like all a smolder in smoke and smells of sulfur, and there's a wicked looking like infernal rune drawn on the back of his hand, trailing all the way up his hand, that he keeps like looking toward, and it looks like freshly branded, as if somebody pressed a hot iron onto it. And you all the while you just hear like a little satisfied voice in your head, self just saying, "Good, another delectable." The gnome looks absolutely terrified, as if it's been like pulled through hell and back.
You're welcome, Vort. And I turn around and I kind of have like the scourge, the whip in my hand, and kind of like a microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, I have found a way to cure petrification. And I take a little bow. You ready? You ready, Gizmo? You collected enough of these things.
Gizmo will look up from his gem collecting, put his hand on his hips, and give a scowl towards self. You did it, didn't you? You did it, didn't you? This poor soul is no longer in possession of his own soul. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I don't know what kind of deal he made in particular, but I will remind you, Gizmo, I made the same bargain. When faced with eternity of oblivion, I chose to live my life, and so did he. So enough of your judgment already. What are you, a paladin? And then I'll walk over towards the group.
You just give one
Hey, look what I
glance
found
toward...
underneath this rock!
Yeah.
I found a potion!
Depetrification potion. Battle is here, guys.
I just lifted up this rock! Look, it was here the whole time!
Damn! You need to teach me your ways. So obviously you learned something when you were in ecstasy self. Oh.
Fort is just on his knees, coughing up ash.
There, get it all out. All right, then.
He turns his pained face towards you, sweat just dripping down his brow. He looks sick, pale, and his eyes go wide and full red glowing. He just says, Thank you. Well done, disciple. Another puppet. He will serve me well as my eyes and ears in Blingdenstone. And then the eyes just go back into pinpoints and back into that gnomish brown. And the terrified gnome just gets up, looks at his hands, and flees from this place, terrified.
All right, yes, run along then.
You might find him in Blingdenstone. Who left his passage wide open?
And monsters are getting in already.
Vort added as NPC for this campaign now. The first disciple. So for the second expediency, those of you who are looking around this crystalline chamber can see several paths leading to the south here. One of them leads to what looks to be like an assembly of like a statue garden of sorts, and another one leads up a set of staircase to what looks to be like a drow designed mansion.
The mansion.
Putting us up the staircase as you guys are sort of, we'll have the time to explore around more around this crystal garden, but taking the stairs, just a little gander of what you guys see is the following. And I think this would be a good place for us to sort of leave off session as you guys get an idea of what you see. Go ahead and don't worry about rules. This is end of session. We'll just do you guys up the stairs. You guys are gonna start over here on the top left corner of the map as you approach up this stone staircase, shaped for medium-sized creatures, not gnome feet this time, to what looks to be like an iron gate. And you see what you see.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought they say one Medusa.
One? It's four!
It's a
That's not what he
giant
said.
gym jar.
It's 5.
Within this ruined court, you indeed do see 5, or how many you can count with your vision, of these monstrosity creatures. Black and purple scaled snake hair winding on top of their heads, dressed in these regal silken spider silk clothes of black and purple and white, tending to the stone garden, to this almost tomb in Hydra's memory. I suppose we'll pick up here next session.
Hey,
Nice. Nice,
that's a lot of Medusa.
Wait, is the plural of Medusa Medusa?
Maybe that's
Medusa?
the
God
problem.
damn it!
That's why.
Medusai? Medusexes?
No,
Medusexes?
It's
Who
definitely
knows?
Medusa. Well, Medusa is a name, right? Like Paul's or Jim's or Sarah's. Medusas.
Look at the bright side, guys.
There is no bright side.
Yes, it's
No,
quite
don't
shiny.
look at anything. Just
We're-
close your eyes.
We're gonna get, instead of 1,000 diamond, we're gonna get
I was just
5,000
thinking that.
diamond.
You think he'll give us 1,000 GP diamond for each head?
You know what? That is right. I'm in this.
Gizmo's like, I should have brought more sacks.
Alright. 5,000. I'll take it.
Always look the positive.
I'm gonna bully his ass if he tries to get out of it.
Yeah,
Hey, Tom,
thanks for
do we level
indulging my
up?
side quest, guys. Oh yeah, do we level up? That'd be amazing.
It's been a minute.
Aw.
It's been a minute, that's true.
I think I get evasion and like 1 key point.
Man,
Third level
Gizmo,
spells.
Gizmo and I get a flash of genius, okay? That's
There you go.
plus intelligence to everything.
For two people in the party to have that will be clutch.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna need it. But
I would
especially
get
later.
stone giant runes.
I love this background art.
Been looking
That is
forward to it.
amazing.
Mm.
I'm multi-class, so I'll finally get third level spells. I'm really looking forward to it.
There you go.
Congrats. It was about damn
Spirit
time.
Guardians! Well, maybe after this, but sometime in the future. He cried more, more, more. Well, that was fun, boys and girls. Thank you, Tom.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Good session.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like the city, the picture of the city. It's fucking dope.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. Not scary at all.
So here's
That looks like
Gizmo's next creation. He wishes he'd created some of these before coming in on this Medusa quest. I
It's
just
always
put it
time.
in the chat. New attachments for my goggles.
heat vision.
How long did that dust last? The ones we got off the Green Dragon.
The bag of true sight?
Yeah.
Dragon dust of trucing. Active for 1 hour.
Yeah,
A
but
range of 30.
I mean, with the Medusa, it's like you're gonna get petrified like faster with that. I'm just saying, like, you're truly being petrified.
Well, I think maybe where Self is going is maybe there aren't really 5 of them. There's only one.
Illusions.
Illusions, I think it's like more like in the best case, it's simulacrums. Okay, we have 5 simulacrums.
Hmm.
But like they are not like looking at us. They say like they are denting the garden or the stones or the stone garden.
Yeah, well, they're watering the stones.
Exactly.
Who's gonna use the dust, by the way?
Yeah.
Baz has it, so.
Okay, yeah. I don't know who.
No,
has
you
it.
have it.
Between
I
you
let
two,
you. I let you pick it. Fine. Okay, fine. I have the dust then. I
I
have
thought
dust.
you had it because I have the
Ow.
mycelium staff and I can get blindside if I need it up to a certain range, but
That's quite good.
I can see within my own darkness.
right.
Perhaps somebody else should have it then.
I don't care for it either.
I say give it to Eric. He's a powerhouse.
And he's blind.
In case he needs it. Yeah, and he's a human too. He doesn't have dark vision in case it's ever needed or
Yuck.
something.
Yuck.
I'll use it.
Here you go. Here's a bag of dust. Now don't get petrified.
This couldn't be made into eye drops.
I swear to God, boy.
You have to snort it, man. Like,
Yeah, snort it. Like you and all your regal kin do. All that booger sugar.
imagine that it's a party at the fraternity, man.
Yeah.
Do we have a handout for this thing? Or
Yes.
I think it's in there somewhere.
Under.
oh, I found it.
Yeah. But it's 1 hour, so choose your time, man. Choose your time.
I got my patron a gnome.
I thought it was nice.
1 down.
1,000,000 souls to
The
go.
rest of the world to go.
We're gonna win the blood wars with this.
Don't know. We did this wonderful thing to get in the good graces of Blingdenstone by hallowing this place, and I hope we didn't just undo it by letting loose uh, this new convert in Blingdenstone.
What do you mean by curing people of a horrible, indefinite petrification?
Mm,
To be
yeah,
honest, in my book, personal mind, I don't know if it's a bad act. Like it was prison. It was eternal suffering.
well, I'm not worried about the act. I'm worried about the consequent actions.
Well, let me tell you what's
This
going to
guy
happen.
starts acting as a agent for a devil.
Well,
It's going to be
I'll tell you what's going
not
to
so
happen, babe.
good.
He's going to end up fighting in the blood war forever. So not only do we free him, but now he shall fight demons.
One more for the one.
So win-win-win. Everyone's happy except for you, Gizmo.
Gizmo is never happy. He's always judgmental.
Always judging. Never don't judge. Nice boots of striding, Nick. Like
Yeah,
really good
they
use.
came in handy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad we purchased those. They were nice.
Yes. Nice use.
Yeah, because I couldn't teleport at all because Eric's sword has light, and the rest of the area was. Lit
I
up.
was actually thinking if you really 100% need to get someplace, I can potentially I don't know if there was the loose earth there, but if I use mold earth, and if there's a light source, I'm assuming they would cast a shadow behind it.
Yeah.
So maybe we could alley oop that if need be.
Yeah, I'll have to communicate it. Because I was looking around and I was like, okay, I could see the shadows here. But then Eric was right next to me in the very beginning. And then that's why I backed out. But then I was like, oh, I have to have dim light or darkness to go to and from. And then where I was at that time by Isabel, I was like, oh, I'm in the light. Ooh.
But to
Oh
be honest,
no.
I think the room had a lot of light. Like no, it was not.
Yeah, it had a lot of light.
Direct. Yeah, like I think I only saw like one side that was clearly shadow.
Like having the teleport's really nice, but I can also just use a key point. Well, I'm gonna. Excuse me. Sorry, I sneezed. I can also spend one key point and take a disengage action and a dash action, all on a bonus turn. That's really nice. So I can double my movement in one round to like 90 feet.
Yeah, I was looking at some of the new monk stuff for the 2024 monk. And it seemed like there's a lot of fun stuff. I mean, your stunning strike is kind of reined in a little bit, but I feel like you get so much in return for that. They're really good now.
Yeah, I like the deflecting attack, like to use a reaction, because I don't have anything else to use a reaction for. Like, I'm not a spellcaster. I don't, have that. The deflecting attack is actually really nice. It's just something
Yeah.
to add, like. Just
Well,
to have.
before it was specifically you could only use it on missile ranged attacks. So it
Yeah,
was basically if
right.
someone shot an arrow or something like that at you. And after level 4 to 5, there's really not that many things that are going to be coming at you with a short bow anymore. So
Yeah, it's really I like it. Because it's like even if I get into melee, it's like, oh cool. Well, like I manipulate his movement like with his key, and I manipulate it with shadow magic, and I divert some of the attack back onto him, and it's like, all right, that's cool. Like that's fun. It's flavorful.
What I like right now of the changes is the packs of the warlocks. I like that you can
Yeah.
pick a level 1, And Pact of the Blade, like charisma, it makes it flexible for all the warlocks to use weapons, which
Yeah.
before it was not ideal. I like that.
I just like how you can do like Pack of the Tome and get all those spells and everything, but then you can also take Pack of the Chain and then like get a little buddy, and then you can also get whatever, and then you're not limited with Pack of the Chain. Like you get the good stuff, like you get the better pseudo dragons and quasits or all that stuff, and it's
And the
like just for
skeleton.
one level. Yeah. Warlock got a really good, nice change. They feel good. I
They
would like
do,
to
but
buy
at
one.
the same time,
The
like
invocations,
I don't
right?
know. The invocations and all that, and like the packs, like it's really good. But at the same time, I kind of feel like the Mystic Arcanum still leaves a lot to be desired past like level 5 or 6 or something like that. Like I kind of feel like at that point I'm like starting to look at Bard or something like that, be like, oh, that'd be a lot of fun, like rather than some of like the spells that you can
Yeah.
only use on one thing. But I do agree, like it's there's a lot more versatility that you can get from it. Like you can pick like a lot of different things. Like you can pick 3 packs.
But I think that has been always the problem with the warlocks. After level 10, do you want to continue being a warlock? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not saying it's bad. It's just like it loses the shine.
Yeah, I agree. I mean they did get some like indirect buffs too. Like Witch Bolt is actually pretty good now.
I haven't seen it, and I have heard that.
It's not like something that you like build your character off of, but like part of the Warlock's problem was that their spell lists just wasn't that great. But now like they took a bunch of like those weaker spells and made them a lot better. Like Witch Bolt is totally something I would consider taking at lower levels.
Armor of Agathis is a beast at the moment. I like it, at least for the.
Is it the same or is it different?
It's a bonus action now, so it's
Oh, okay.
easier
That's good.
to manage. And as long as you have temp HP, it's still on, so you can recharge it. Like as long as
Oh,
you
that's
don't
dope.
lose the last one, you can
Yeah,
recharge it, and I think that's quite useful.
that's cool.
There are like the classes like the Fiend that give you temp HP normally on the Undead, which I like it too much. So yeah, there are ways.
Great session, guys. I gotta go.
Hell
I
yeah.
haven't had dinner yet, and I'm fading.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Don't
Go
worry, man.
for it.
So
Enjoy it.
Go get some foods.
Send me a
Well,
picture of the pizza.
I, well, actually, the wife made lasagna tonight,
Oh,
and I've been
Hell
smelling
yeah.
it in the other room and haven't had any yet. So
Me and
nice.
You're
Lorian
gonna
love lasagna.
you're gonna go in there and not
I'm
break character and talk like Super Mario the whole time.
Yeah, do it.
yeah, this is.
It's a
I'm a
lasagna.
gonna, I'm a gonna have
I'm
me a biggest
actually
slice.
I'm actually going to make lasagna right after I leave this call because I'm doing
There you go.
Friendsgiving tomorrow, and I gotta work in
Nice.
the morning,
Oh,
Nice.
cool.
so I'm making it now.
Have fun, man.
Yep.
All right. Well, have a good night, everyone.
Hey, you too,
And
man.
Good
we're
Take
night.
on,
care.
Later.
we're on for next week, right?
Yes,
No
I believe
change.
so.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cool.
next
Yep.
week should be fine.
Next week is good.
All right.
I'm good. I'm off work that day.
Okay. All right.
Cool, cool.
See everybody next week. All right.
See you
Take care.
later. Bye.
Okay, I like Witch Bolt. It's a fucking beast. Level
It's good, right? It's
5 D12s at level 9. That's 60. Half 30. 35 average, I think.
Well, it's also cool because like even if it misses, you can still use its effect.
Yeah.
Like you can still get that in there. So you get a little. It's not like this, like, oh, you missed, the entire spell is gone.
Yeah.
Like it, like because there's a lot of stuff that can break it still. Like if they break line of sight with you, is
And it's concentration, not it's always.
yeah. But it is cool because, like, you know, if you take like Pact of the Sword and then you use like Booming Blade and then cast, you know, but have that cast on it or something like that, like that's like a cool combo. You know, like you can kind of like do different stuff with it. So then they can't just like run out of line of sight, and if they do, they have to take the damage. So that's some fun stuff.
And to be honest, I'm not a fan of Hex. I never like it.
The reason why I use it is when you're like, because basically when you're going through something like this, it's basically a dungeon crawl, and you're gonna come across things where it's like, yep, you're gonna, this is not gonna be like a big fight. So you use Hex and you have it for an hour.
Yeah, I get the timing thing. It's just like there are spells that are more powerful or more meaningful, not say powerful. But I know like at level 1 to 3, like there are not many options on the Warlock.
Yeah, it's also even at higher level, the thing is that you can cast it after you cast it at 3rd level, it lasts like 8 hours. So
Yeah.
you can cast it before a short rest and still have it up. And things like that. But yeah, the big thing is that, like, you know, Eldritch Blast puts in work, and if you, because it's not just the damage, it's also the displacement too. And like I feel like that's what makes it like better than average. But the Hex is really just so that like I can still do decent damage and spend all of my spell slots on like detect thoughts and stuff like that, and not feel like, oh, I wasted all my spell slots on stuff that wasn't, you know, like combat related, and now like I don't do anything in combat.
Yeah.
So
I,
you
I
know,
like Warlock like summoners. Like I think it's the cool side for them. But that's my taste.
yeah, I guess some of the Mystic Arcanums, like, you can use them and have them be useful like that, but like it's just like you get to a certain level, and instead of picking spells that you can use for different scenarios, you get one spell, and if it doesn't work out like for what scenario, like that's like kind of what you're stuck with. So for like higher level spells, it's kind of, especially like a lot of the ones that warlocks get are kind of like you know,
Niche.
situational. Yeah, very
Yeah,
situational.
very
So
niche. Yeah, I agree. I'm not a fan of Mystic Arcane.
yeah.
I'm gonna go get started on my cooking. Night, guys. Fun session.
Take care,
Have
man.
fun. Send me some.
Lasagna, please. Please. Please, sir.
I'll think about it.
Cram it in
Familia.
my holes.
La familia. But
I
yeah,
really
like,
do want to try playing like a Abjurer wizard, because now healing spells and some other stuff got reworked to the abjuration. And I feel like that would be kind of cool, like to be like a protective wizard. Like, I can arcane lock, I can make this place safe, I can heal a little bit, and provide shields for people, and like, I don't know, different role for them rather than just blasting everything with fireball.
I played with one of my group before, and like that shield is actually super powerful.
at the direction, yeah, I have heard that. Never seen it, but in theory, I know that it is.
I think it'd be neat. It might be a really cool thing.
You know, the thing is, I never really wanted to play a bard or a druid before, like the 2024 book, but both of them look really fun now. And I tend to
don't
like to
know.
play casters of some kind, so like I'm
Yeah.
excited to have like other things that like I'm interested in.
I'm not really a fan of the bard as a class.
I wasn't either, but I think like a valor bard or something. Like a valor
Yeah.
bard now kind of looks like a different take on like what's it called?
Paladin?
No. What's the sword wizard?
Bladesinger.
Bladesinger. Yeah, Bladesinger. Yep.
Okay, let me check. Okay, I don't know it.
Bladesinger's dope. Honestly, Bladesinger I think would be one of the, it's like the most powerful wizard subclass, because you get all the great things of being a wizard. Your spell progression is still the same as a wizard, and you're very competent. You're pretty decently competent in melee.
I think
Yeah,
that's
it's fucking great.
what making a monster is like the armor and the concentration bonus. Like that's like ooh nice.
I would like it just because I would blow all my spells on utility out of combat stuff and just swing my sword around in combat. Like and still
Yeah, you
be,
could.
maybe like keep something with for concentration. But like, cause like that's what I really like about wizards is like all the tricky stuff that they have. Like they have all the perfect things for, the situation, but you always
Yeah.
feel like, ooh, but like if I do this, then I'm just gonna be trying to hit stuff with firebolt. Like I've definitely been in those situations where like the only thing I have in combat is a cantrip, like non-Eldritch Blast cantrip. It feels bad. Like you're just like, oh, that did like everyone else is like, doing, like cool stuff on their turn. You're like, I firebolt for like 7 damage at like level 11. It's like, oh, it feels like I might as well have just taken the dodge action.
Yeah, I like playing the wizards, and clerics are really great too. Um, I've never
Hey,
played a druid. I want
that's the
I want to at some point.
that's the thing. Clerics has always been amazing.
Yeah, yeah. New druids look really fun. You should like look at it's the thing is that like it's one of those classes that you have to kind of like you can't just like read what it says. You have to be like, okay, and then there's these spells. So then like if I took these spells, I'd be able to do these things. Like you kind of have to like, like kind of build one in your head a little bit. It's because like now they basically have kind of like the way that their conjure woodland animals thing is, it kind of works like spirit guardians. So like, there's cool stuff that you can do. Like, you cast that, and then you go into bear form or something like that. And, now you're basically like a bear with spirit guardians running, as long as you can keep concentration.
I think
Nice.
druids are pretty cool. Like they are really good support. Like they
Yeah.
they prepared like the setting really good or the battlefield very well. So,
There's
Yeah.
also like the like battle druid now, so now you can actually like make like a shillelagh druid.
Challenge.
Yeah, doesn't Shillelagh like it change or something, and then also like if you were to mix it with like Thorn Whip or some other stuff? I don't know.
I think it's good now because I think that like it kind of scales.
Yeah,
If I'm
with
not,
the
yeah.
scales. Like at 5, 11, like everything I think.
So what, it does like 1d8, and then like what, at level 2 it does like 2d8 or something?
I think so. Or if not, they increase the die. Like from 5 to 10, I guess, something like that.
I know it changed. I know people were like, oh, Shillelagh's actually like really dope now.
Not
I mean,
100%.
it's more of the fact that I don't know if it's